Hello. Good morning, friends. Hello, hello. Oh, whoopsie. I have a longer shirt on and it keeps getting caught. It's stuck, hung up in all of my like poles like this. I mean, obviously not this height, but down here, I keep catching myself. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Hang on. Hello, hello. We're almost there. Oh, come on. Hi, everyone. Hi, hello. Hold on. I just have to make sure we can see it. I can see it. I have to be able to see it. And I cannot yet. Oh, there we go. Maybe it's there. Maybe. What's today? Okay. One more. If I keep digging enough, I'll be able to find it. Oh, there we go. There we are. Hello. A little ads playing as I try to wait for that to come in. Okay, here we go. I'm here. Yes, I've been here, but now I can see that I'm here. Good morning, friends. Morning. Let's get that straight. Happy Saturday. How are we today? It is February 17th. It is very cold outside here. It snowed overnight, so I don't know, like a little skiff. I mean, you can't see the lawn, but it's cold, like frozen snow on the street. Anyhow, very much looking forward to getting out of the snow tomorrow. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's see where, ooh, not a good look. Let's see where we are. Hi, Sarah. Good morning, everyone from a drive at chilly Los Angeles. Good morning, Grace. She said, I realized the best way to be sure I catch the beginning of the show is to turn it on ahead of time. There you go. That's good. You can also check on the little notification bell. And that notification bell, I just need to clean my glasses here. That notification bell will let you know. It will notify you ahead of time and then also notify you when I'm going live. So that kind of comes in handy. Oh yeah, now I can't see a thing. Tracy, good morning from sunny, chilly Iowa. Oh, Grace, thank you. Said, so glad you're on this Saturday. Thanks for wonderful and oh my gosh. Hang, I gotta stop that. I can't, it doesn't work. That's a lovely look too, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Like Matthew McConaughey says, all right. Good morning, Wendy. Oh, perfect. Wendy said, hello. This is the first time I believe I've ever caught you right when you start live. Well, here we go. Welcome. Oh, we have Grace Ward and Gracie Creates. Some Graces in the house today. Hi, Jane from Delray Beach today. Gabby. Good morning, Gabby. Thanks, Sarah said she loves my blouse. Got to make it colorful, right? Tammy, good morning from Brisk, Missouri. Thank you. Terry is reminding everyone, thumbs up. That's super important. If you give it a thumbs up, that would be awesome. Good morning, Marilee. Kelly Min. I knew you were from Minnesota. Kelly Min from Min. Good morning, Ms. L. and Tina. Patricia from Maine. Jane, good morning. Kathy, a beautiful day in Phoenix. It's probably like the perfect time of year in Phoenix, right? It's probably like 70s-ish maybe, or today will be like mid to high 70s. That would be perfect. Hi, Martine. Nice to see you. Joanna's here from cold and snowy Victoria Harbor, Ontario. Arseps from Alberta. Hello, Wanda. She's opening up package. She placed an order and she's opening up a package. Lovely. Hi, Carol. And Carrie from Montana. Oh, -2. Yikes. That is cold. Hi, Teresa from New York. Good morning. Nancy and Cindy from Missouri. Colleen. Good morning, Colleen. Winnell from Texas. Hi, Shay. Yes, Terry, we are. Tomorrow morning, we're headed to Hawaii. Nick has business there every year, and I'm fortunate enough to tag along. So we're excited about that. Good morning, Justine. Hi, Susan. Tina, it was 60 yesterday, and it feels like 15 in Tennessee. 17 Lori's in Idaho. Yeah, it's winter, right? It's winter. I don't like winter. Hi, Susan. How are you feeling, Susan? How's the wrist? Lori, good morning. 17, also in Idaho. And Heidi. Hi, Heidi. Heidi from Washington. Okay, friends. So, good morning. If you are new, welcome to you. And if you are not new, welcome to you. Welcome to everyone. If I don't know you, if you're new and we haven't met before, welcome. My name is Layle, and on Saturdays when I am not traveling, we're here on my YouTube channel and we do what I like to call creative listing. So basically a couple days ahead of time, I put out 3 at least listing topics on my blog, and then they go out in email and social media, so it's easy to find. And we list. So we sit down, well, I stand, and we list. We take those lists or those topics and I make a list. And I add lots of fun products. So I'm using stamps and washi and pattern paper and die cuts and all different kinds of things. But excuse me, we have fun doing that when we list. And really what we're doing when we're listing is we're telling a story. In most cases, I think if you're listing with me, we are listing about ourselves. So for example, one of the list today is today looks like this. So we're just taking a basic day, you pick the day, and you're just making a list of what you did that day. So in that type of list, we're doing what I like to call a time capsule. So if you look at that specific point in time, that period in time, and then you look forward maybe a week, a month, a year, a couple of years, and you do that same type of list again, it very much gives you a snapshot in time of what your life was like. So a lot of our lists, we are making lists about ourselves, things we wanted to be when we grew up, things that we used to hate and now love, just all different kinds of things. Advice we'd give our younger self, but we're telling a story, and that story that we're telling is our story, right? My husband and I, Nick and I, are empty nesters for about the last, I don't know, the pandemic totally messed it up, but last couple of years. And as we were entering that new phase in our lives, I started, well, a couple of years prior to that, started thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to continue to do all the memory keeping that I love? Because like I think a lot of us, our kids or grandkids or nieces or nephews or whatever it may be, we're kind of the central focus point of our lives for a long time. And then as they start really kind of getting later in high school and whatever their next stages are, that you start going, ooh, I've always been documenting them, photo, scrapbooking, what have you. And now that that's no longer the case, how do I continue to participate in a hobby that I truly love? And for me, that's how the kind of whole creative listing came about. So I was able to take my love for paper and products and being creative with my love, and I won't even say love, like my maybe my, what's an unhealthy, my, I don't know, I can't think of the word, but my ability to not do anything unless I write it down, making a list. So taking those two kind of passions, putting them together, and what we do on Saturdays. So welcome to you if you are new. There is a live chat that takes place. I can see it on the right hand side of my screen. Once I flip the cameras and we start working together, it makes it a lot easier for me to interact with you and see what you are saying. Like this, it's too hard for me to see because I can't see right there. And then I have to look this way. And then when I look this way, I'm not looking at you. And yeah, anyhow, but when I flip the camera, much easier. So I'd love for you to pop into the chat, say hello. It is a wonderful group. I shouldn't say it, I should say you guys. Wonderful community here that you have built. There's some people that have been here with me since day one. And when I say day one, I mean day one of doing our lives on YouTube. That started at the very beginning of the pandemic. Which brings me to a point. If you are one that likes to write things in your calendar, this would be one that you'd want to write in your calendar. This is a big old save the date. We are, in the next month, we're going to hit our 4-year anniversary. Can't even believe that. Our 4-year anniversary. That will be a very big weekend from lots of different perspectives. That will start on I think it's the 21st. 21st is Friday, I believe. I think March 21st, 2024, that third weekend in March, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That whole weekend, there'll be lots going on, but that Saturday we will do an all-day listing session here. Okay, so just maybe do a little save the date in your planner, on your calendar, what have you. We'll have lots of fun that day. I will have quite a few new products releasing that weekend, the 2023 listing with Layle idea book, which will be idea book number 2. That will launch that weekend. New stamp release will launch that weekend. I have 3 new die sets that will be launching that weekend, and lots of other fun things. So stay tuned. Live chat, yes. Hello, everybody say hello in the live chat. It's just a fun place for me to be able to connect with you guys. So I love it when you are chatting. Schedule. We will not be listing together next Saturday, which will be the 24th, because I will be out of town. I will be on an airplane all that day flying back home. So we will be together 4 of the 5 weekends in March. I think it's the 9th, whatever that weekend is in March, we won't be together, but all the rest of the weekends will be together. So just kind of remember that. But also you'll always see the schedule on the blog and Facebook. I actually need to update the one on Facebook because it still has that weekend of the 9th on there because we will not be here. What else? I think that's all. I have we're going to be about 3 hours today. I kind of have a little bit of a hard stop, a soft hard stop. We are leaving tomorrow morning. And we have an annual thing that we do with a big group of friends in February. That just so happens to be tonight. So that starts at 5. And I am happy to say I'm all packed. I did that Thursday night, so that's like a first for me. But still have some things to get done before we leave, because we leave early in the morning. So anyhow, about 3 hours today. All right. I'm going to flip the camera. Oh, overhead lights aren't good, so aren't on, so we are good. March 22nd is Friday, the 23rd is Saturday. Thank you, Terry. Yes. So that will be, that will be March 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Big weekend. 4th weekend. Okay. There are 5 weekends in March. I think that first weekend is just kind of a little, like a teaser, right? The first weekend in March is kind of a little teaser because it's not really a full week. So I will clarify the date. It is March 21st. No, sorry. March 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. I have the February calendar on my wall right now. March 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. So everything will kick off on Friday morning, March 22nd, and it will run through Sunday night, March 24th. There will be an all-dayer on Saturday, the 23rd. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I should have had that written down, huh? I should have had it written down. All right. I know there are a number of you that have been with me since the very beginning, since that very first fateful day. I think this is why I was getting confused with the 21st, because that very first one was March 21st, 2020. And it's crazy to think that we're almost on 4 years. Really is crazy. Okay, friends, I know I missed a lot when I was chatting at you. Oh, Jacqueline, I will answer that question for sure. Jacqueline asked before I flipped the camera, she said, I was wondering about the colorful books behind you. Can you tell us the story? Those are actually planners, Jacqueline. So I worked for Simple Stories for 6 years. And I started, that would have been, I would have started, 11 years ago. Because I worked there for 6 years, and it's been about 5 years since I left. But during that time, we launched a new brand called Carpe Diem. And many of you are familiar with that brand, Carpe Diem. So that was the Simple Stories brand for quite a while before they sold it. But those were planners, and those are planners. Those were A5 planners that we launched. We launched planners. We launched traveler's notebooks and inserts and all kinds of things like that. And that's what those are. And I've always just loved them because they remind me of that awesome time in my life, but they're also really beautiful kind of rainbow to have behind me. Okay. All right. If you asked a question and I missed it, please. Oh, thank you, Colleen. Bless your heart. Oh, and I mean bless your heart in a good way. I am not from the South. So just know if I ever say bless your heart, 99.999% of the time, I mean bless your heart in a good way. Because if you're from the South, apparently when you say bless your heart or bless her heart, it means something totally different. But bless your heart. Colleen is always so good about reminding me. Yes, Gabby, the very first video is still up on YouTube. Absolutely. The one from March 21st, 2020. That one is called Intro to Traveler's Notebooks. And it has, and I know this because I was working on the newest idea book last night, and I actually created a QR code for that, long story, but anyhow, um, yes, it's like 55,000 views on that video, 55,000 views. And it's quite, well, I won't say amusing, but at the beginning, because we were literally into the pandemic a week. And at the start of that video, I was saying, my gosh, I hope that, it's just a couple weeks of this and we all make it out the other end going, wow, that was crazy. And then, here we are. Okay. I know Mandy said, I love my Carpe Diem planners, but they haven't had anything new since they got sold, so I got bored of them. Yeah, Mandy, I have a feeling they probably, well, I don't know. You never know. That company that purchased them is a company out of the UK. They may surprise us, but I don't think that we'll see anything kind of in our realm come out from them again. That's one of the reasons why that I created, designed, manufactured my own traveler's notebooks, because we're not seeing anyone do that anymore. Okay. Quasi way. Are we talking about product? They just posted new ones. Terry, are you saying that Carpe Diem just released new traveler's notebooks? I'm confused. I am confused. Tell me, because I mean, I would be shocked. I'd be shocked from a couple of perspectives, but anyway, let me know. I know I saw something. I know. Oh yes. Let's talk about, Joanne just asked a question, so let me talk about this, and then we'll get going. Earlier this week, I released a long-awaited video, called How to Use the Epson Creative Print app. Any of you that use the Epson PictureMate PM400 printer, the Epson Creative Print app is an app that is designed to go with a number of different Epson printers, including, but not limited to, the Epson PictureMate PM400. That video walks you through step by step how I use the printer for printing photos in my traveler's notebooks. It does work with their larger format printers, so it would work with the printer that prints things like 8.5 by 11. In that video, I go through in depth and not only kind of tell you how most of the things work in the app, but I also show you how I use the app. There's a couple of things that can make printing photos on that printer through the app much more streamlined, super easy. And then there's some fun things that you can do, like adding text and adding stamps, pre-configured icons and things to your photos. Joanne asked, she said, I can't get the greeting card part to work. Any suggestions? Joanne, unfortunately, I can't help you with that because I have never used the greeting card part. I've never used it. So I didn't even cover it. So I don't know if anyone else maybe has used the greeting card component in that app. They may be able to give you some pointers. Otherwise, maybe try Google, or maybe someone else on YouTube has covered that. But unfortunately, I haven't used it, so I'm no good for you there. All right, let's go. Oh, Colleen said, to all my Canadian squirrel friends in provinces that are celebrating, Happy Family Day. American friends, Happy President's Day. And guess what else? All my friends in the whole wide world, there's another day that we're celebrating today, and it is Random Acts of Kindness Day. Okay, Random Acts of Kindness. That is one of the lists that we will do today, and that's actually the list that we're going to start with. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but before we dive in, I want to talk about or show the list that we created when we were together last week. And when I say we created, there are people that are live that watch with me. There are people that watch the replay. Some of you are creating and listing right along with me. Others have never done a list in your lives. You may just be looking for company, right? You want company, you're cleaning the house, you're working, and you want to have somebody with you, right? With you in the background. So some of you will be listing with me, some of you will be working, some of you will be working on another crafty project, whatever it is. But when I say that the list that we did last week, we'll look at the list that I did, and some of you may have done with me. But we have to have a sip of coffee first. Today's coffee mug is Squirrel. My friend Christine sent me this last year. Christine is the amazingly talented designer behind Pop Daisy Art that I did, or we collaborated on some stamps last year. Okay, one more. Joanne, of course I remember 2 peas in a bucket. Absolutely. That's like, takes us way back, doesn't it? Okay, so last week when we were together, that would have been the 10th of February, we did 3 lists. One list was things I'm looking forward to this winter. This is a list, this type of list we generally do at least 5 times a year. Things I'm looking forward to this year, right? When a new year starts, there we go. Things I'm looking forward to this year. This is a list that we did a couple weeks ago. Things I'm looking forward to this winter. And then I do it for every season. So we'll do it again. Things I'm looking forward to this spring, summer, fall. It could be this Christmas if you wanted to expand it. You could be doing a list like this every month. Things I'm looking forward to this January. Things I'm looking forward to this month. Things I'm looking forward to this year, whatever it may be. But it's something that we generally do at least 5 times a year. So things I'm looking forward to this winter. I will tell you, winter is not my favorite. In fact, it ranks like number 18 in terms of my favorite seasons. Okay, it's like way down there, like number 18, right? And you know what I'm going with there. There aren't 18 seasons, so it's pretty much dead last every time. So always on my list for things I'm looking forward to this winter is spring. I'm always looking forward to spring and wintertime. We use the super fun, oh my gosh, I just totally drew a blank. Winter Wonder. And that just reminded me I need to grab this collection out because I'm going to use it again today. I used the super fun Winter Wonder collection from Simple Stories to create that list. So along with the All the Things stamp set. That was one of our lists. Another one of our lists last week. This is a list that comes around once every year. For me, it came around a little bit later this year because I was not mentally ready to do this list at the beginning of the year. This is a focus list. So each year I do a list. Hello, dear.
And we all know your focus. Good night. Good day, everybody.
Good day? What, are you going to Australia? Good day? Oh, that was weird. That was funny. Anyhow, Nick just said hello. Nick's my husband, if you don't know. Anyhow, this is a Sarah. Good day, Nick. That was the funniest thing. Good day. He's never said that. He's never said that a day in his life. I really don't know where that came from. I think he was going to say something else. And then it just, I don't know. That was funny. Anyhow. Yes. I know, Susan, it should have been aloha. You should have said hello, aloha, everyone. Now, he is not packed yet, so that's what he's working on, among other things, this morning. Anyhow, focus list. I need to focus. I need to refocus on what I'm talking about. I have done this list. I think this is the 4th year I have done a list like this. And I always pick 5 things that I want to focus on for the year. This year, the 5 things I'm focusing on: listening to my body, decluttering, working on personal relationships, working on balance, which has probably been on my list for the last like 30 years, and then spending time outside. So those are the areas of focus for me this year. I used the focus stamp set, which has that fun little focus word and then some large numbers. And then I paired that with some rub-ons from the Simple Stories True Colors collection. So as I'm working and as I have products that you see, either products that I'm working with or that I worked with in the past, you will always see a link in the description box of the video that says what I'm using. It will take you to a page on my website that shows what I'm using. So today, if you click on that page, and when I say today, I need to say, if you click on that link prior to us getting together again, which would be like the first weekend in March, that will show you the things that I am using here on this particular video. But I'll always tell you, like I just said, those are True Colors. We used those last week. So you'll find pretty much everything that I use on my website if you are looking to purchase any fun products to add to your stash. All right, third list was back this way. Oh yes, third list was something that I called Love Is. And I very specifically did not want to focus on for everyone any specific type of love. So love is. For me, I focused on the relationship that Nick and I have. We've been married for, in May, it'll be 29 years. But whenever we do lists, I always try to keep you guys in mind, other people in mind. And when I say that, love is, for me in this case, was more of a romantic love. Doesn't mean if you don't have romantic love in your life that you can't do a list like this. Love is could be from a pet's perspective, right? Love is, and then you know when your cat is really bratty and wants to bite you, and then the next minute they come and lay next to you and cuddle. Or love is with your dog when you come home from a long day at work and your dog is just sitting there so excited to see you. Or love is from a friendship perspective, or love is from a child perspective or a relative perspective, or love is maybe a job perspective. Maybe you love your job so much that you're doing a kind of love is from a job perspective. So you can take a list like this and really make it work any way that you want. It doesn't have to be a specific, like a specific romantic love. Anyhow, I use the Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Loves. That's a mouthful. Simple Vintage Love Story collection for this, and then paired it with my I Heart This stamp set. So that's from the I Heart This stamp set. We used some die cuts, some different color distress oxides. We used some some of the distress watercolor pencils, although we didn't use water with them, just colored with them. Anyhow, those were the lists that we did last week, right? And we just had 3. Oh, the other one that we did, we had to finish this guy because I hadn't quite finished it. So this was our list, things I'm looking forward to this year. And we used Moonlit Garden, that beautiful Moonlit Garden from 49 Market. Okay, friends, so we are now almost ready to start our first list, but we need to talk about giveaways before we jump in. And Maureen reminded me of that because Maureen was one of the 3 lucky winners when we were together last week. Whenever we're together on our Saturday sessions, I always like to do giveaways because I like to share. That is one of my love languages is I think gifting. I don't know how they word that, but I like to share that way. It makes me happy. So last weekend, I announced 3 giveaways. The way that we do the giveaways is that you have until we are together again to leave a comment on the video once it's over. So not in the chat, but you leave a comment on the video once it's over. And I ask you either to say hi or tell me, like this week, I'll say, tell me, we'll talk a lot about random acts of kindness. So for this week's giveaway, this video's giveaway, in the chat, or not in the chat, but when the video's over, I want you to tell me just one of the ways that you do random acts of kindness. And if you're like, random acts of what? What are you talking about? You do them, you just don't know that you do them. So we'll get there. But we did 3 giveaways last week. The first winner was Maureen. So Maureen Judge, you leave a comment on the videos and then I randomly pick 3 people. Literally, I just scroll and wherever my fingers stop, those are the people that win, okay? So Maureen Judge won all of my extras from this Simple Vintage Love Story collection. So I used that on one list. And then basically she has all of the extras, the pattern paper, the washi, the die cuts, and the rub-ons, and all of those fun things. So congratulations, Maureen. The second winner was Dawn Milbratz, and Dawn won my, a new, not the used one, but the I Heart This stamp set. And Nita Mann won the Love Mini Icons. So ladies, I had responded to your comment on that you left on that video, and you just need to email me, and I explained in the comment what I need from you when you email me, and we'll get your prizes sent out. So congratulations, everyone. Congrats, congrats, congrats. All right, let's get going. So our first list today is random acts of kindness. as I mentioned when we first got started, today is National Random Acts of Kindness Day. Random acts of kindness. What's a random act of kindness? What does that mean? If you want to pop up in the chat, I would love to share what it means from your perspective. But basically, random acts of kindness is just something that you do that that can make somebody feel good, right? Random could be interpreted a couple of ways. Random could be interpreted as maybe anonymous, that you do something for someone and they don't know that it was you. But random could also mean you just, do something here and there at random. So it's one of those things that you kind of define what it means to you. So what I thought we'd do, since today is National Random Acts of Kindness Day, that our first list would be about random acts of kindness. That could be things that you like to do for other people, or maybe there are things that people have done for you. Either way, you decide how that works, or maybe this is a list of things that you would like to do for other people. This is where I want to encourage everyone today, tomorrow, within the next couple of days. One thing, just one little thing. Just pick one little random act of kindness. Doesn't have to cost any money at all. But I'll share with you some of my favorite ways of doing random acts of kindness. And then I think, look at, if all the people that are here, and we can even take this beyond, right? This doesn't just have to be for one day. It brings a focus on a day like today, but it doesn't have to be for one day. It shouldn't just have to be for one day. But if you look at, oh my gosh, let's say, that very first video I did at the beginning of the pandemic that's had 55,000 views. If we could even get like a quarter of those people to do a random act of kindness, or maybe a random act of kindness every week, how amazing that would be, right? It'd truly make the world a better place. And if you think, oh my gosh, you're only one person, I can't make a difference. Yes, you can. Because doing one simple little thing, you don't know what a difference that could make in someone's life, and the chain reaction that could create. If you've ever heard of the butterfly effect, when they say when a butterfly, moves its little wings, that what that effect can have across the world on the other side of the world, kind of the chain reaction that happens there. So that's our goal for today. We want to start a chain reaction. Okay. So someone, let me just see. Scrapinology, Gina said, doing something nice for someone unexpectedly. Perfect. Colleen said, paying for the coffee of the person behind you. Tammy said, random act of kindness, sending a sweet handwritten letter to friends or family. Nancy said, someone in front of me paid Starbucks coffee, ordered through the drive-thru one day. Joanne said, opening a door for a person that has their hands full, right? So there's a good start at examples. Some of those, maybe $5 or $6 if you're paying for someone's coffee. The other one costs nothing. Opening a door for somebody, holding the door open for somebody. So we're going to kind of keep thinking about that, and we'll keep talking about that as I start to work on my list. So the products that I have in front of me, this is the Poppy and Pear collection. It is linked in the description box of the video under what I am using. It's one of those collections that is good for a lot of different things because it doesn't have a theme to it, right? It's not winter, it's not Christmas, it's not Halloween, it does not necessarily have a theme. So that means we can pull it out and use it for a lot of different things. Oh, I love it. Okay, shoveling the walk of our elderly neighbor, donating items to a local food bank. Right, there's so many things that we could do for random acts of kindness. Oh, Terry, that's a wonderful random act of kindness, Terry. Terry said, I will get us started. Layle, I would like to buy a $25 Layle by Mail gift card for you to give any time away next time we are together. Okay, I'm writing it down, Terry. That's so wonderful. And you know what's about that, Terry? That's actually a 2 random act of kindness. And you guys know that's not where I was going with this. But Terry, that's a double random act of kindness, because that's a random act of kindness for me because you're making a purchase, but that's also a random act of kindness because then that gets, forwarded on to somebody else. So I just need to make a little note here. Okay, thank you, Terry. Okay. Call single friends on a Friday night to see how they are. Carolee, I love that. That's so good. Okay, so here we go. I've made a little sketch because sometimes that's what I do. I make little sketches, and sometimes I get carried away and then realize, oops, I was making the sketch on the wrong list. So then the arrows come into play. But this little guy, this little die cut, do small things with great love. I saw that and I thought, you know what, that really kind of encapsulates the whole random acts of kindness, right? Do small things with great love, do small things with intention. Smile at somebody, right? Literally, it can be something as simple as you're at the grocery store and you coming up an aisle and someone else is passing you. Just make eye contact and smile, or say, hi, how are you? Or say, have a great day. Things like that are so easy to do. They take nothing from us except intention, right? We have to think about it, but really that, just took 10 seconds, but you never know what an impact they can make on someone's day. So I thought that would be kind of fun to incorporate. I also was staring at this piece of paper for quite a while. This paper is from the Poppy and Pear 6x8 pad, and it is gold foil. So it has these little gold foil frames on it. And I thought this could be really fun to write little random acts of kindness in. So I think what I'm going to end up doing, I had thought about using this as a full piece of paper, but then I thought, well, you know what? I don't know that I want to do that. I think I might want to cut out those little boxes. So right now my thought is to cut out those little frames and then I will kind of adhere them on here. But I also have a title, right? I need to get my random acts of kindness title in there. Also really liked this paper. I thought this was really fun, how you have the different stripes, but then there's a little bow right there. So I thought maybe I might be able to incorporate that over here and maybe somehow incorporate this here. And then I have lots of other, little things that I could kind of work around in there, right? Lots of other things I might be able to kind of work around in there. So we'll see. That's kind of my thought. That's my thought. I'm not quite sure how it'll end up, but that's my thought. That's what I've got going in my head. Okay, so for my title, I'm going to do part of a handwritten title, and then I thought I would stamp part of my title. Let's see, hang on. Gina said, just coming from the vet, I was in the car with my sick dog crying while hubby went to the market. A lady saw me and came out with a bouquet of flowers for me. Oh my goodness, Gina. Okay, so, that is so neat. And first of all, I'm so sorry your dog is sick. That's always so hard. But look at the impact that random act of kindness. You don't know her. She doesn't know you. But her going into the store, bringing you flowers, you sharing here, and then you never know now how that just continues to trickle down. Or it's kind of like dominoes. People stack dominoes and then the dominoes all just kind of go like that because they're all leaning on each other. I love that so much. That's wonderful. I'm so glad you shared that with us. That is so neat. So neat. Oh, okay. Well, Terry, let's do that. Let's just do it today. Terry said it's already purchased. So if you want to give it away today, feel free. Let's do it today, right? Let's do it today. So we won't do it. I'll do it at some point, and I'll let you know when I'm getting ready to do it. So then that's great, because then that's why it's everyone that's here has an opportunity to have that nice little that very nice, generous random act of kindness from Terry. All right, so I thought I would use Reggie. Reggie Alpha. Yes, Reggie is also the cat that lives with us. That is Sam's cat. That is what this Alpha stamp set was named after, but it was long before Reggie came to live with us. So I thought it'd be fun to maybe use this as a title. And I will, the title is going to be kindness, but then I'll handwrite in random acts of kindness. So the part that I have to kind of think about here is how, if I want to cut out these little frames, I want to cut out the little frames, but I don't want to just put them on here. I think I need a background. So if I use maybe this as a background, because this will pull in some of the color, maybe that kind of salmon color from this side. And then still need to figure out how when I stamp the title. Oh, Let's see. They definitely won't fit on that. But you know what I think I might be able to do? I think I might be able to recreate that from a piece of pattern or from a piece of cardstock. Kind of recreate that look. So let's do that. Let's head down that path. Let's head down that path. So starting with white cardstock. I need my trimmer. Let's go ahead and Shay's mom used to call her Reggie. I love that. That's so fun. Gabby said, ugh, why haven't I purchased this line? You know what? I've had it for, when did it come out? Did it maybe come out in December? I think it kind of got swept under the rug a little bit because of the time of year it was released. So I've just had it waiting. It's just been waiting for me. And it's, Gabby, I think a lot of times, until you see me use it, and I'm just saying this is generally what I see, sometimes until I show it on a What's New Wednesday or until people actually see it, then you go, oh my gosh, it's such a fun collection. All right, so what I just did, here I have pattern papers from this Poppy and Pear 6x8 pad. So 6x8, the inserts that I use are standard wide. So standard wide is 5 by 8.25. So if I'm working with a 6x8 piece of paper, 8.25, I automatically am going to have a little white border all the way around. So I like to trim that width from 6 now to 4.75 or 4 3/4, because then that will give me that kind of even border all the way around. I need my corner rounder here. So I was so excited about finally getting that video done. That has been, oh my gosh, it's been on my list of things to do. Where is my corner rounder? Where's the heck? Usually everything, oh, it's put away, but not in the right place. Okay, close. All right, there we go. But yes, that had been on my list of things to do for a couple of years. And I was so glad to have that checked off of my list. And it's been very well received. So I'm glad that you guys have found it very helpful. And that was the how to use the Epson Creative Print app. All right, so that'll go there. I still have to decide on this one. So I think I'm just gonna leave that uncut for a bit. Let's stamp. Let's get our, ooh, now I wonder if kindness will fit. Will kindness fit? Let's see. Let's see if kindness will fit. Oopsie, excuse me. What I had on my list, I did have on my list this week to do another video. It's another one that has had many requests. It is the one about, the like walkthrough of my new craft room. And how it's all organized and all the things that I use to organize it and things like that, but that just didn't happen. The idea book is front and center. Getting that, will that fit? I think that will fit. Getting that out the door, because it has to be done by, well, it has to be done so I can share it so it's available when we're together on the kindness, will that work? When we're together on the 22nd, 23rd, whatever that day is, that Saturday in March. All right, I'm just taking those little alphas and spelling kindness. Kindness. How's everyone today? Are you hanging in there? We're like on the backside of February already. Do you believe that? We're more than halfway through. Now don't forget. Kindness. Okay, so let's talk about what we do when this happens. Kindness has 2 ends in it. If I'm going to stamp all of these letters together in one fell swoop, I do not have 2 ends, right? I do not have 2 lowercase n's on my stamping block. But here's what I do. I get the first N placed. I know the N goes there. That means I know then where the D goes, right? I know the exact spacing. So now I can pick up this N and come here, and I don't think I'm going to fit. Actually, I'll be okay, and I'll show you why. So I now have the N down where it needs to be the second time, and then I need an S. I actually need two S's, right? But I only have one lowercase s on this sheet, which is fine because I can stamp this with a blank there, and then I can come back in and then stamp my N there and my second S. All right, so that is what I'm going to do. Let me just get that placed again. Now, what color ink do I want to use? If we're looking at this, and if I'm going to try to recreate something like that, that will be in black. Maybe I want to try to pull that pink. That pink is probably Kitsch Flamingo, because that's the one that I had out. So let's grab Kitsch Flamingo. And do I already have it out? Where is it? Okay, hold please. Okay, it's not in its little container where it's supposed to be. Did I have it out here? I don't see it out here. Oh, I know where it is. Hang on one sec, okay? Hey, Nick, could you do me a favor? Downstairs on the white things, there's some little white containers, and in there is a Kitsch Flamingo stamping ink. Will you get that for me? It's pink. There's a pink stamping ink block that's in one of those white things on the big white thing. All right, sorry. While I'm gone, Lily and Denise will be processing orders, and they'll also be working on a make and take that I will be doing at the Three Craft Chicks over the Rainbow retreat in April. So the Kitsch Flamingo ink is downstairs for that, because they'll be doing some stamping and die cutting while I'm gone. So I just went to have Nick grab that for me. Hi, Pat. Let's see, Pat said, finally a weekend I am not working, listening and trying to order photos for a scrapbook retreat next weekend. You will also be listing then. Pat, you'll be listing without me because I won't be listing next weekend, but you certainly can, right? You certainly can. Okay, come on, Nick. Come on, honey. I think I gave him a pretty good description as to where it was. Well, that's okay. I can start my stamping or my test stamping, right? Oh, please tell me this is not one of those. Where's the ketchup? We're out of ketchup. Where's the ketchup? We're out of ketchup. It's in the fridge. No, it's not. I looked. Yes, honey, it's in the fridge. We're out of ketchup. It's not in the fridge. And then you get up and then you go look at the fridge and the ketchup's right there. That's hope. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. I can't test that yet because I need that pink. Oh, honey, come on. All right, I should have just ran downstairs. Yeah, Terry said, sending a husband to look for something on your craft room is like asking to look for something in your purse. Good luck, Nick. I know. Oh my goodness, you guys. Talia said, oh, that reminds me, I need to buy ketchup, LOL. What? Oh my gosh. Hey, hang on, you guys. Hang on, sorry. I'm coming. I found the ketchup. Right where I said it was. Right?
Well,
What did I
you
say it
didn't
was?
say it was buried underneath a pile of 700 cards in the back corner of a bin.
I said, honey, on the big long white thing, there's some little white baskets. It's one of the white baskets, and there it was. 29 years, friend.
I'm never helping you again.
Okay. I'm not helping you ever again either. Oh, man vision. Yes, man vision. Like, seriously. Anyhow, I'm not complaining. Okay, and I inked up my letters, and I am test stamping. Okay? I'm test stamping because, whoo, now I'm out of breath because I ran up and down the stairs. I'm test stamping. I want to make sure that I have it spelled correctly. Now, it looks a little odd right now because I am missing letters. I'll come back in and add those. I want to make sure that everything is lined up straight. Lined up straight-ish, right? It's going to be good enough. Lined up straight. I want to make sure that I don't have any random lint pieces or little hairs on the stamp. If I have them on the stamp, that will affect my stamped impression, but it looks pretty good. Kindness. So I think we're good with that. I've already conditioned my stamps. I've already used them, so they're ready to roll. We'll talk about conditioning when we get to one of our next stamps. All right, so if I want to do something like that, I probably want to come a little bit more over here. Okay, there we go. Now, I am going to take off. I'll clean them first. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to clean all of them. Because then it'll make them easier to move, since I don't like inky fingers. And then we're going to move the N now into its first spot, and we know exactly where that needs to go, right? We know exactly where that little guy needs to go. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just grab single stamping block. Because if now my N is in the right place, but I'd have to re-ink. It'd be hard just to ink that one and not the others without kind of getting it, not getting the letters not in exactly the right place. So I'm going to single now stamp that. Hopefully that made sense. Let's grab this again. So my N will go right in there. And I'll do that with the S as well. Okay, there we go. Oh, Nick. Nick's now in the peanut gallery. I should have taken a photo of where it was hiding. Yeah, Pat's correct. Pat said men speak a different language. Absolutely, don't they, Pat? Yeah, it's common. It's common with children too. Even adult children. I always say, Mom, we don't have any ketchup. That's always kind of my go-to for that example. We don't have any ketchup. Yes, we do. Look for it. I already looked. We don't have it. Yes, we do. Mom eyes, right? Mom eyes or man speak. I love that, Pat. That's so funny. Man speak. Exactly. Oh, I have a solution for that coming. Hang on. Some of you know by that sound what just happened. My tape runner just fell to the ground. Okay. All right, that's how you know it's live streaming, because things like that happen. They can't be edited out. All right, we're ready for our S in kindness. We are ready for our S in kindness. I need more room here. All right. Now, what'll be interesting is if this is, it's kind of wide, isn't it? It is kind of wide. Not too wide, so we're okay there. I know, it never sounds good when that hits, does it? When your tape runner hits the ground. Oh, why is that? Is that straight? Sure doesn't look straight, does it? All right, so I don't want this to be huge. So let's see what we have here. Oh, I better leave myself some more room for all of that, because that's what I'm going for again. I like that little look, but it just would not fit, right? All right, so I think it's still a little bit too long on the bottom, too tall. All right, let's see what this looks like. Let's see if we like it. Recreating that little guy. So I think what will be the easiest way to start is to do that straight line first. Okay, so I'm just taking my little Sharpie and doing my straight line first. Ooh. All right, now I can do my little dots, but I probably did not leave enough space for the little. I'll have to make very little shallow scallops. Like Shallow Hal, right? Did you guys see that movie? Shallow Hal with Jack Black and Gwyneth Paltrow. That was, I don't know, we were watching something last night and then that came up on the guide or something, but Shallow Hal. Shallow scallop, Shallow Hal. All right, so now just making my little scallops here. Right, it's kind of like a continuous bunch of M's. Little lowercase m's. Okay, we're almost done. There, that's cute. Look it. That wasn't big enough for us, so we made our own. It's a little bit crooked here, but that's all right, right? Random acts of kindness that put a smile on, whoa, whoopsie, my face. All right, there's my little title. Random acts of kindness that put a smile on my face. That will go right there, okay? So now, let me outline this. Now we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting. So like I said, I could have used this piece of paper. I knew I wanted to use some of those little frames. I could have used this piece of paper as whole. But then, I mean, I guess I could have done, you know, random acts of kindness there and then written them there, but then you wouldn't really have noticed that kind of title as much, but I still wanted to use these and then definitely add some more color. So by having a nice colorful background and then, whoo, okay, this was supposed to be downstairs, but it's back upstairs. I'm going to fussy cut some of those little frames out, okay? So fussy cutting scissors, these are, do we see another? Oh, Terry, I like it. Terry said in the chat, so cute. Do we see another Layle by Mail stamp idea? Well, that would be super cute, wouldn't it? That's because it's a super cute box. It'd be similar to my in the box stamp set, right? That those two are the in the box stamps, but that could be fun to have another little scallop idea. I like it, Terry. I like it. Okay, so I'm fussy cutting. These I released maybe a month ago. These are fussy cutting scissors. They're spring loaded. Okay, so they're spring loaded, which means you need very little movement because the spring is doing kind of all the work for you. They're a very, very short blade. Because the blade is short, that means that I can get into some of the smaller, little more intricate places with a smaller blade. So if you're ever fussy cutting, you always want to go with your smallest size scissors, all right? So if these are your smallest size scissors, then you want to go with the smallest that you have. The smallest will make it much easier. I'm going with my very small, so these will make it fairly easy for me. I am laying those in the palm of my cutting hand, so I'm right-handed. These could be ambidextrous scissors, right? Because there's really no right or left side. So I'm laying them in the palm of my hand like that. And then like that. And there's a little photo on the website that kind of shows you where they lay. Then I'm just using my thumb and my little pointer finger here. Very, very, very small movements, okay? So people that have arthritis, I've been told that these are great scissors for cutting because you don't have to, this is hard on arthritic hands, right? Because I have to move a lot in order to cut. Little scissors like this, you're just barely making very small movements. Okay, so here we go. Oh, under the willow tree, longer box stamp for the focus page. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Because that one just takes a while, doesn't it? To make all those little boxes. All right. So generally what I do is if I want to cut something out, I'll first start with my bigger scissors to kind of get it cut out because it's much easier to do that and then fussy cut after. So that's what I am doing there. We'll just do that. And I think these little boxes will be lots of fun. I think they'll be a little cute to write whatever little random acts of kindness that I like to do. So we were talking about it earlier. These can be big or they can be small. You know, if you're an NFL football player and you just won the Super Bowl, maybe your random act of kindness is to buy your parents a house, right? Well, actually, that's kind of probably not as random, but it's a pretty big deal. But you could be staying at a hotel and you're walking out of your room and you see one of the cleaning people and you just give them a big smile and say thank you because, you know, what they do is not easy work, right? What they do is not easy work. Your random act of kindness could be, you know, whatever it is. It could be, you know, you see an elderly person, you know, getting ready to cross the street and you think, you know what, I'm going to go give them my arm and I'm going to help them cross the street. They didn't ask, but it's just a random act of kindness. Just smiling at somebody, right? Smiling at somebody. How about this one? Does anybody ever pay you a compliment? And especially if it's somebody you don't know, like you're walking through the airport and they're like, that is a beautiful dress. And they say that to you and you're like, you kind of look around and you're like, what? And they're talking to you and you're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. It's something like that. You know what happens usually? Because we think the things all the time, right? I mean, we think the things. We see somebody and say, we think to ourselves, oh my gosh, that dress is beautiful. Or, gosh, she's very pretty. Or, you know, that was a very eloquent thing that you just said. Whatever it is, we think it, but we don't say it. We don't express it. So in a lot of cases, it's really as easy as just saying, verbalizing what is in our head, right? Gabby said, hi, arthritis hands here. I love these scissors. I didn't know that about you, Gabby. I had no idea. All right, so I'm just going to cut out a couple of little boxes here. Now, what might be interesting, I'm not sure. Those are actually frames, not boxes. What could be interesting is some of these are bleeding off the page. So I could probably have some bleed off the page. That might be kind of fun too. That could be kind of fun too. So if you ever look at a piece of paper like this, especially if you're working with like a 12 by 12 piece of pattern paper and you have all these little frames on it and you're like, what the heck do I even do with that? Like that makes no sense to me. Well, even if it's on a 12 by 12 piece of pattern paper. You could use, all the little boxes, the little frames to do your journaling, or you can fussy cut them out, right? So I'll just fussy cut a couple more since I know I want this one. I want this one whole. This is a really fun shape. If I start out with my big scissors to cut off most of the excess, I find it a lot easier when I'm fussy cutting to fussy cut something that size as opposed to trying to fussy cut, on the full sheet of paper. All right, let's see how that looks. Let's see how that's looking for us so far. Martine said, I do that. People are sometimes surprised. It's funny. I think by just saying, right? Saying it's a beautiful dress, or I love your hair, or, that lipstick looks great on you, or, whatever. That's a super easy way. That's just a random act of kindness, right? Holding the door open for someone. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. And now we've also done a list in the past about pet peeves. It's interesting. I have a couple of things on my random acts of kindness list that are also on my pet peeves list. One is when people don't hold the door open for you. I don't know. That's just always, if someone is behind me, whether they have their hands full or not, whether it's a man or a kid or whatever it is, I hold the door open for them. I think that's just common courtesy. And then on the other hand, I won't say nothing bugs me more, but it's one of my pet peeves when someone lets the door slam in your face. And it doesn't really have to slam. It's just when they're walking through it and they don't take 5 seconds to look behind them and see that someone else is coming. What's very interesting too is sometimes the reaction when you hold the door open for someone, and especially if it's a male, they're like, wow, thank you so much, right? It's common courtesy. To me, it's common courtesy. That's a really easy way to show a little random act of kindness to someone, just to, hold the door open for someone, or give them an unexpected compliment, right? An unexpected compliment. If you think about when someone pays you an unexpected compliment, how good it makes you feel and it puts a smile on your face. Well, if we can make someone else feel good like that, why wouldn't we? Wanda, thank you. Wanda said, Layle, I find it amazing how many cute pages you come up with. Thank you. You know what? It's interesting that you said that, because one of kind of my goals this year is to get out of my box, so to speak. Sometimes I feel like I do the same thing over and over and over again. So I'm glad that you feel like that's not the case. But yeah, this is definitely, we don't think we've ever done a list like this before. But here's the thing. What I'm doing, this one's going to take a while, right? Because I'm stamping, I'm doing fussy cutting. But it's not about for me how long it takes or how quickly it goes. When I'm doing any kind of crafting project, it's about the pleasure and the joy I get from it. So I have a lot of fun just sitting here and doing some fussy cutting, and we're chit-chatting, and I'm trying to figure out what works here and what could work over here, and moving things around. It's just, it's fun. It's fun. So if you are looking at starting to make lists with me, please don't think that it takes 5 hours to get 3 lists done. If I was just doing this by myself, it would take nowhere near as long, right? But I chit chat, and then I do a lot of explaining, because I think it's important that I explain what I'm doing. Because if I'm not explaining, a lot of times you miss things. You're like, wait a minute, why did she do that? That makes no sense. I don't understand. So if I can explain as I go, then hopefully the things that I do make sense. Well, they won't always make sense, but at least you know why I did them, right? At least you know why I did them. All right, Marilee had said something I wanted to come back to. Marilee said, I'm not shy, and if I see someone or something that catches my eye, I tell them. Once our waiter had the most beautiful green eyes, I had to compliment him. My girls almost died. Isn't that funny? But you know what? And he may have heard that 1,000 times, but maybe he had a really bad day, or maybe he had a customer that just really yelled at him. But then for you to then tell him that, you just never know. You never know what something can do to lift someone's day, and then how that then carries on, right? It's like that butterfly effect that I was talking about, or the domino effect, right? it can just, it can just really change things for people, right? And life's hard enough. If we can say something to make somebody feel good, then say something or an action, right? There is a quote that I pulled that I might work into the next page. I'm not sure. But it's from Dalai Lama. And he said, be kind whenever possible. It is always possible, right? Nick says, and I'm going to say a bad word here. I'll paraphrase. I won't say the exact bad word. But something that he's always said to the boys as they were growing up, it takes zero effort to be an a-hole. Okay? It takes zero effort. It takes zero effort to be mean. It takes effort to be kind. I mean, you have to think about it, right? You have to think. You have to think about it. So, you can always be kind. It's always possible, right? It's always possible. So I may work that into my next page. Let's see. Baking cookies for neighbors or taking a meal to an elderly or ill neighbor. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Sarah, Sarah, that's funny. I just read your comment from back. Said it is so easy to be kind and takes effort to be unfeeling. Yes, that is Sarah's way of saying what Nick says. Talia, my 5-year-old held the door for people and the looks of surprise were honestly kind of sad. Like it wasn't normal for someone to do that for them anymore, right? Hi, Patricia. Sarah said, my friend is great. She thanks everyone and says, we appreciate you or we appreciate what you do. It is great. My dad's like that too. You know what I find too, in a lot of cases, and I learned this very early on in my career, there were times when I felt like I wasn't appreciated in my job. And so it was something that what's the word? What I needed, right? I wasn't hearing that I was appreciated. So that is something that I have taken with me in life. Anyone that ever does any kind of work for me, whether they work for me or not, I always try to make sure to tell them how much I appreciate them and appreciate what they're doing. So sometimes it comes from not getting what you want, right? So if you feel like no one ever tells you look nice, well, you know what? Spread that out in the world. Tell everyone that you see that you think looks nice, verbalize it, right? Because you will get the pleasure of seeing their reaction. Let's see, Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. Debbie said, it is fun hanging out with you, Layle. Gabby said, my son and I went to Disneyland. We were on the tram. Next to us was a mother with her 2 babies and a stroller. As we were getting off the tram, my son helped her with the stroller, right? And you know what? A lot of that is how we raise our kids or how we raise our grandkids or nieces or nephews. Or if you're a teacher, Marilee, right? Your kids, your students, they see that. They see how you're acting and they pick up on that, right? Little kids are sponges. So if we can try to, Lord only knows that they sponge in all kinds of bad things from this world. But if we can try to get them to soak up those good things, then we should be doing it all day, every day, right? Tracy, I've gotten room upgrades at a hotel just by being kind if the person ahead of me was rude. Right? The other one, and this was Nick's was always, it takes zero effort to be an a-hole. Mine was, you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar, right? Be nice, be nice. The people that are yelling and screaming, even if the people that they're yelling and screaming at can help them, they sometimes have zero desire to help them because they've been so rude, right? Fly Girl 7092 said, when I see a mom traveling alone on a plane with little kids and struggling, I'll do what I can to help and say something like, oh, in case no one's told you today, you're doing a great job. Like I said, you just never know. You never know what a comment like that can do for someone. Colleen said, in the grocery store, if I see someone behind me with only 1 or 2 items, I let them go ahead of me. Same, right? Because you know what? If you have a whole cart full and they have 1 or 2 items, that is such an easy thing to do. It's such an easy thing to do for someone. Pam said, always lead with kindness. Kindness is a superpower. You will make a difference and an impact in people's lives. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So I think we're probably pretty good here with this. Before I get too much further, I need to come back to this second page to figure out what this second page might look like, right? Because I was still kind of in the middle of that. I just had an idea. So I have kind of this big block of white over here, and over here I kind of really don't have any white going on. What if we did this? What if this, maybe this rotates and that little bow is down there? Okay, okay, we're getting there. I'm going to trim this one down, and as I trim, remember I trim to 4 3/4 wide. I'm glad I didn't cut that before because it would have been a little bit uneven since I ended up rotating that. All right, now I have another idea on how I can bring some more white into this side. I think we could do the exact same thing, but we could make a little border around this little guy. So if we go back to our white cardstock and let's adhere, let me bring this up. Kind of have boxed myself in. I don't have enough, I've not given myself enough room to work. I don't know about you guys, but I could have a 12-foot by 12-foot table. 12-foot by 12-foot table. And I'd still be working in like a little 6-inch by 6-inch space, right? All right, so here we go. I'm going to adhere that to my white paper here, and I am going to mimic that again. So let's start out by doing, before I did my, my outline first, kind of that straight line first, in this case, I think it will be easier if I start from the inside and work my way around. We're just gonna kind of mimic that same little design from our little inspiration piece there. All righty, so Terry, lovely Miss Terry, a little while back said that for a random act of kindness today that she would really like to, oh, I know I'm in over now. Yeah, this one's gonna take a little bit. That she would like to do a random act of kindness. She's already done the first part. She purchased a $25 gift card from my website, and she would like to give that away as a random act of kindness to someone today. And we're going to do this as a live giveaway. So the way that you participate in a live giveaway is you leave a comment in the chat. So I'm going to throw that out there, and in a couple of minutes, I will stop and I will scroll up in the chat. My finger will just start scrolling wherever my finger stops. I don't look at who it is because I want it to be random. Wherever my finger stops, that person will win a nice little that nice little gift card from Terry, electronic gift card to shop on my website. A nice little random act of kindness, which is so sweet, Terry. Thank you. All right, so I will finish this little part. I will cut it off, or cut it, cut around it. And then we'll scroll, okay? And we'll see who the random lucky winner is. So many of us that have been crafting, I've been a scrapbooker, memory keeper, storyteller, documenter, journaler, whatever you want to call it, for about 27 years now. 27 years when I was pregnant with our oldest son, Jack. And he is now 26. So I've been scrapbooking going on 27 years. But I have always loved crafts. When I was in 3rd grade, I remember one summer my mom enrolled me in this little art camp. And every day I would go and you'd make all kinds of fun crafts things. It's always just been something that I've always loved. And you know what? In a lot of cases, it doesn't matter what it is I'm doing. So what we do here on Saturdays, we're crafting, right? We're crafting, we're storytelling, we're documenting, but we're also playing. And I get so much joy out of just playing, right? Just purely playing. Oh, okay, right? Okay, look at how that now just tied the whole thing together. Isn't that crazy? by taking that kind of design element and all of that light and then recreating it over here. Now it just has kind of really pulled everything together. Ooh, a circle scallop stamp. I love it, I love it, I love it. We're doing it, Terry. We're for sure doing it. Okay, I'm stopping. I'm scrolling up. I'm stopping at Diana Jackman. Diana Jackman, you are the lucky winner of Terry's Random Act of Kindness, which is a $25 little shopping spree on my website to buy whatever you'd like. So Diana, do me a favor and send an email to laylebymail@gmail.com, and then we will get you connected to, or Terry, Terry, I think I need you to forward me the email and then I could forward it to Diana. Or if you don't mind, if Diana contacts you directly, then you just let me know how you want to do that, Terry. Just let me know how you want to do that. Yes, so fun. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, friends, so here we go. Now, let me do my little outlining here. Like so. Okay, so I got a little distracted a minute ago. Something popped up, and it's something popped up from Lynette Porter. Lynette said, appreciation on for you, Layle. I'm in the replay crew and glad to catch you live for a bit. So Annette just popped in, and I wasn't sure what that is because I've never seen it. Lynette just popped in a little 1999 super chat. Like, I really don't even know what that is. But what I'm going to do with that, we're going to do another one. I'm going to take that random act of kindness that Lynette just did, and we'll do another live one in a little bit. And I'll take that $20 and we'll do another like $20 little get shopping spree, buy whatever you want on my website. Okay. So there we go. We're going to pay it forward, right? Pay it forward. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was so very nice of you. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I'm like, I got to go figure out what that is. All right. So here we go. I think we better just put those down now because I'll probably just keep messing with them. So let's go ahead and adhere all these little guys. These little frames over here. This type of piece of paper, so that we just cut a bunch of things out. I think this kind of piece of paper, especially if it's a 12 by 12, if you buy, 12 by 12 papers, or even, a 6 by 8 like that in that little paper pad, is so versatile because look at all the little tiny frames that we can get out of a piece of paper like that. All right. Where are we going? Where are we going here? Hi, Pamela from Cold Virginia. Yes, Cold Virginia. All righty. And there was another little quote that I saw that was kind of fitting for today. And I don't know who said it. If you know who said it, you can tell me. Be the change you want to see in the world, right? We talked about how easy it is to just say please and thank you and to give somebody an unexpected compliment or just to smile at them, right? So be the change. Do it, right? Do it. Takes zero effort. Well, actually, that's not true. It takes effort. It takes zero effort to not do it. It takes very little effort to do something like that, but it does take effort, but it can have such a big impact. So I'm challenging everyone today to come up with one today. Come up with at least one random act of kindness that you can do. And you know what? It doesn't even have to be in person. You don't even have to leave your house to do it. Guess what it could be? It could be you could go on social media and you see someone that popped into your feed that looks really nice, or you notice that they always have a nice smile on your face. I did that with somebody on Instagram the other day. I saw her picture and it was for Valentine's Day and she just looked so cute. And I thought, you know what? Every time I see her little face pop up in my feed, it just makes me happy. And I thought that and then went about my day. And then later in the day, I went, you know what? That's silly. Well, I thought that. I should tell her that. So then I went back to her post and I left a comment and I said that exact same thing. So whatever it is, I want to encourage you, okay? To do one little random act of kindness today. Maybe, what if it could even be tomorrow too? Or what if it really could be every day? What if it could be every day? I think that'd be pretty awesome. So I am going to challenge myself to do that. All right, so I was thinking before that I might include the little quote, be kind whenever possible, it is always possible. But I just had a thought. I was looking at this cute little bow here. Maybe I'd like this little bow to kind of stand out a little bit. So if I just take my little Sharpie, you know, with my outlining and everything, because it's kind of what I do, right? I kind of do, but I think I need to continue that part right there. Oh yeah, that's better. All right. So now I think I'd like to do a little quote. I think I can do a little quote here and then maybe have a little flower. So there was a little white daisy. Maybe this little guy goes in here. And then I was thinking about, well, how would I want to do a quote? Now I could just write it in these little pink lines, but then it kind of looks a little bit like an afterthought to me. So one thing I was thinking, what if I took some white cardstock? Let's see, be kind whenever possible, it is always possible. So I kind of have maybe 2 lines. Let's see. Oh, well, I could use the back of this. I don't know, could we? No, it's probably too thin. Let me find my white cardstock. Why did I do that? Well, not sure why I folded that up. That made no sense. All right, so I'm thinking, what if I made little strips, kind of like my own little word strips, and then I just cut them. So if I cut them and then wrote on them. Let's see here. How about that? Let's look. Let's see if we like it. Is that fine line shape? My lines are never quite straight. Margie, my lines are never straight. They're never straight. They're not supposed to be straight, right? That's not necessarily well, if I wanted it straight, I'd probably do something different. Because it's not necessarily the look that you're gonna get if you want it straight. So let me just really quick, let's do a quick little outlining 101. I use a very thin tip Sharpie. These I have on my website, but you can find them, you know, off the supply stores and things. If I am outlining something, let me just get that. I always, always, always am resting this part of my hand on the table. That will help give me some stability, okay? So that's always resting. I'm not like trying to do it in the air, always resting. And I'll start with an edge and 1 line, okay? I don't do it kind of in spurts. And then I rotate. And then I do it again, 1 line, and then I rotate, and again, 1 line, and then rotate. Now, I've been doing that for probably 25 years. So I can get it pretty straight by keeping my hand down and then rotating, but it's also just, it's art, right? So if it's not straight, then, you know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it not being straight. All right, so now I'll do that little quote. And that little quote, be kind whenever possible. I'm gonna do this right here. Be kind whenever possible. Like that. And then here, it is always possible. Oopsie. I just wrote on my table. And then that was, the Dalai Lama. Okay. So we kind of do that. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. Although it probably doesn't seem simple because it took me a while to do, right? But it was just having fun as we were doing it. It was having fun as we were doing it. We kind of made our little own embellishments there. Well, We made our own little title embellishment, but that we embellished our embellishment. We embellished our embellishment, and we came up with a new stamp idea while we were at it. I will tell you, the March stamp release is already designed and in production, with the exception of one stamp that I'm still working on. I'm going to tuck part of that little guy underneath there, I think. So that little stamp idea there can be added to the May release. Come on, Layle. There we go. I think we'll just have that little bit under there. And then we have our little strippies. Oh, yeah, let's use our little glue pen. Will be much easier than trying to do the, oopsie. And then it turns over. It'll be much easier than trying to do the tape runner. Okay, now we're ready for our random acts of kindness. The ones on my list. Oh, okay, well, I just saw Carol. Sorry, Carol, I was busy working and did not see that. Carol said I have an idea, maybe, but the quote above and below the bow. Totally missed that. Yeah, that could be fun. That could for sure be fun, but it didn't happen. One thing I'm wondering, what if, well, I'm going to do it and hopefully we'll like it because they look like they're just kind of floating to me. So I'm outlining those as well. And I'm truly in this case outlining. It's not on the piece itself. Normally when I'm outlining, it's really, I don't know, inlining because I'm inside, whatever it is. But in this case, I'm really outlining. Oh yeah, way better. It needed that, I believe. Oh, I think it needed that. There we go. Cute. Okay. One other thing I'm going to grab, and then we'll do our list. The list is like the afterthought here, right? We're just having fun. I'm just having fun doing all those cute little things. All right, puffy stickers. Puffy stickers. Oh, time for water. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know my mats, I didn't get my mat out. Okay. Ooh, almost got King Charles all wet. Let's not do that. Okay. So I feel like we need something in the center of that little bow. And there are lots of little hearts. Oh, this will be the perfect one. On the little puffy stickers. Elise, look at Elise. That kind of looks like your little kitty Momo. Elise sent me an email last night. It was the cutest email telling me a story about, she said, I know you're a cat lover. Telling me a story, look at there, that little cute center. She said, I know you're a cat lover. I want to tell you a story about a little kitty. So she told me this long story with photos and everything about a kitty that she rescued. It's so fun. So fun. And her Honda CRV, her cat rescue vehicle, the CRV. It was so cute. Okay, so here's some of my favorite random acts of kindness, okay? One is, let's see if I need to do a little more explaining. Let's do it over here. Holding the door open. Okay, holding the door, giving compliments. Giving unexpected compliments. Okay. This is one of my favorites. Leaving a big tip for someone, especially during the holidays. That's a little tradition we have going with some of my neighbor friends. We go out to a breakfast and then each of us brings an extra $100 and we give our server however many of us times $100. I think the biggest one we've done is $1,200. And it's just, you know what? And it's kind of selfish because you get so much, like you get so much from that. And a lot of times you're giving a random act of kindness. It can be good for you too, because you get something in return, right? You feel good and you see how you make someone else feel good. That's an okay kind of selfish, right? That is an okay kind of selfish. Another one for me, I've talked about this, is gift giving. And I'll just call this a happy mail. Sometimes I like to throw little happy mail things in people's boxes. Or sometimes just send happy mail, because when you get a little package that you're not expecting, you're like, oh my goodness, it's just such a fun little, it literally could be, oh, I saw this die cut and it reminded me of you. And you're like, that is so sweet. You were thinking of me. Okay. Saying thank you and meaning it, right? Sometimes it's like, oh, thanks, oh, thanks, oh, thanks. Saying thank you and meaning it can be a big one. Let's see. Louisa said, I love that. I agree. Generosity seems to bless us, right? Yes, yes, yes. Paying for the next in line in Starbucks. I know, right? That's a fun one too. Let's see. I'll put that. Paying for the person ordering behind me. I need to do that more often. Because you know what's really neat about something like that is that in a lot of cases you don't ever see. You don't see how that is perceived, right? You're just literally doing it out of the kindness of your heart. It's totally random. Unless the person tracks you down, you just know that you maybe made someone else's day, right? Did I put this one? Let's see. Smiling at someone, right? Just a nice smile. And then there's a little extra space, so we'll put a smiley face there. What else do I have here? This is, so let's see. Giving praise. I'm going to take a little, so basically, and it's not a thank you, but it's basically saying, you know what? You did a great job on that. You did a great job. That's something that I really, really, really try to do, and I try to do it often. And again, that probably goes back to earlier in my career, where I didn't feel like I was appreciated. So I always want to make sure that people that are working for me and with me, that I want them to feel appreciated. Let's see. Let's see. Terry said, we love doing that too. I also love asking to see the manager instead of a complaint, which is what they usually get. We give them a compliment. Yes. See, things don't have to cost money. They do not have to cost money. They can, but they don't have to, right? A lot of times just as much value, just as much value. Jacqueline said, I absolutely love the tradition that you and your friends do each year. My son worked as a waiter during college and so many people never left a tip. Right? I always look at it. You know what? If it's Christmas Eve day and you are working at a restaurant, you probably would really, really, really appreciate a little bit of an extra tip, right? Letting someone cut in front of us or merge into our lane while driving. Ms. L, that's my last one. That is, that's also one of my pet peeves. I just have to figure out how to fit this in. Actually, this is going to be generic. Someone else go in front of me. And that can be traffic, that can be at the grocery store, right? You have a cart full and someone only has a couple of items. Or you have a cart full and the lady behind you has a cart full, but she also has a 2-year-old in the seat who's starting to get a little cranky. You know what? If I'm gonna sit there an extra 10 minutes, is that really a big deal? Okay. Jacqueline said he also received a tip from young kids of coins and a full glass of water that he had to get wet to retrieve, right? That's bleh. Karen said, buy a homeless person something they need, food, gloves, etc. Yeah, okay, all right. Terry said, the other cool thing about paying for the car behind you, it usually keeps going and the staff of the place love it and it spreads cheer. Win-win, exactly, right? All right, friends, so I think we are good. I think we're good. Last thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to add the date. Because today is Random Acts of Kindness Day. So I should have the date on there. Whoopsie. Today is the 17th of February 2024. All right. So we always talk about testing your stamps, right? But I'm for sure going to test this one because you never know if you forgot to change the year or change the month or you have the wrong day down or something like that. Okay. There we go. I'm going to put that just right down here below. Let's go right here, my little roller date stamp. All right, and then I think it's a little crooked, but that's all right. It is what it is, right? Little crooked, but it's just a little crooked. I have a couple of other little, you know what? No, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I was gonna do something different to it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm going to call it good. So there we go. There is our random acts of kindness list. Random acts of kindness. So there we go. And let's go ahead and get this in. You notice that I did this entire list, what I call off the page. When I start to hit about the halfway point in an insert, I find sometimes it's easier if I'm working on pattern paper that's going to adhere. Sometimes I find it easier to do like my stamping and writing off the page and then go ahead and attach it. So that's what we did there. That is what we did there. All right, that was a fun one. That's a totally different type of list than I normally do, right? That's a kind of a new little idea. And this is, here we go. Here's my sketch. Here's the left side, and then here's the right side, but it ended up drawing it on the wrong list. But that just reminded me, there was this cute little, I won't use it, but now I don't have a place for it. Anyhow, I had pulled off that cute little love thing because it was cute, but I don't want it. I think we're good. We're good. All right, first list. Our second list is, let me do this. Ooh, let me put some things away just so we can move this collection out because I'm done with this collection for today. And then we will move the next collection in. Our next list is, actually, I'm going to stop. Well, I'm going to get all this cleaned up and then we'll do our second giveaway, okay? And you know what? Will the person please, I did not write down your name. Will the person please that did the 1999, who normally who normally watches the replay, if you're still here, will you please tell me, will you please pop into the chat because I was so excited about that. I did not write down your name, and I would like to be able to thank you again. The kitty from the puppy sticker is going to be really cute on top of the circle. Let's see. Oh, you mean this little kitty right there? There's a couple kitties. If we wanted to add a kitty, so there's a couple of dogs in the collection. Like there's a little doggy, so cute. And then here's a little kitty. Those are die cuts. Let me look. Let's see. Lynette, thank you, Lynette. Okay, I just want to write that down so I can properly thank you again, Lynette Porter. That was so nice of you. Okay, let's see. Wanda said, make blessing bags and gives them to the homeless people in the bags. Gloves, chapstick, Band-Aids, gum, candy, and a little cash. Very, very, very nice. Very nice. All right, let's look. So Terry was saying a little kitty. That kitty actually fits really well there. But the orange is kind of not working for me. And I think this little kitty would be awesome. Is that a cat? I think so. But this little kitty is a little tall, maybe? He's a little tall. If I had moved everything down a little bit, I think it could have been very cute. So I love that idea, Terry. They're just not quite working. They're not quite working. We'll just do that. How about that? We'll add another little leaf there to add a little bit of color. All right, let me get these things put away and then we'll move on to our next list. Well, as soon as I get things put away, then we're going to do another giveaway, another live giveaway, another random. I'm dropping things right and left today. Another random act of kindness that was initiated by Lynette Porter. And it's getting passed down. It is getting passed forward. Pay it forward. I'm paying it forward. I know, kitties. Actually, so Terry says, yes, but the kitty's my spirit animal. I have a couple spirit animals. I have a couple of different spirit animals. Originally in my life, a spirit animal was an owl because my grandmother, my dad's mom, always loved owls. So I have owls in a couple places. There's actually one here. Look at, there's one here. He's always in my craft room, this little owl. So it's like my grandma's with me. So owl for a long time was my spirit animal. Now, spirit animal is, well, I would say probably after that. Then it turned maybe into a cat because we had cats for quite a while. And then I think now the spirit animal, this little guy, squirrel is kind of my spirit animal now. Squirrel is kind of my spirit animal now because that's what I do. I squirrel. Squirrel. I'll be doing something and then totally sidetrack. Right? Totally sidetrack. You know what would be fun? I should, you know what I should do? I'll see if I can do this. I know I can. Amy can help me with this, I know. I need to go back into that video. It was early on in the pandemic when the whole squirrel thing started. It all started with Sam, our younger son Sam, because he was home from school because, you know, everybody had to come home. He would participate in these with me. He was so bored to tears. He'd be sitting here. He'd help me get the lights set up. He'd do all that when I was still trying to figure out what the heck I was doing. Not that I have that figured out yet, but anyhow, we would like bicker back and forth because he'd be like, Mom, that doesn't make any sense. Mom, you don't know what you're doing. You can't do this while I'm like live. And I'm like, Sam, knock it up. Anyhow, it was quite amusing, I'm sure, for people that were watching. But one day when we were done, he's like, Mom, you get like so off track. Like, what the heck? Can't you stay on track? And I'm like, Sam, it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. And I'm like, I can't help it if I squirrel. And he's like, squirrel? What are you talking about? And I said, oh, well, you know, in the movie Up, Grandpa is at the park with Doug, the dog, and he's talking to Doug the dog, and then all of a sudden Doug the dog sees a squirrel and he gets sidetracked and he says, squirrel, and that's where the whole thing came from. So that was the start of our little squirrel mascots. All right, so now I am scrolling up and I'm stopping at Tracy Carell. Tracy, congratulations. You are the random lucky winner of the random act of kindness paid forward from Lynette Porter. So Tracy, I'm just writing this down. Tracy, please send me an email, laylebymail@gmail.com, and let me know that you have the $20 paid forward from Lynette Porter, and I will send you a code to use to shop on the website. Thank you, Lynette, and congratulations, Tracy. Okay, all right, our next list, friends. We're all a little squirrel, right? We all have a little squirrel. Wanda said, we miss Sam. Sometimes he pops in. Well, sometimes he pops in if he is like on Saturday, if he comes over for something, he'll be like, hey, everybody. You know what I will do? He will be here. I'll make sure he is here on the 22nd, 23rd, whatever that day is. He'll show his face. I'll make sure he stops by that day. That'll be fun. All right, so our next list. Our next list is today looks like this. So today looks like this. No, it's what a day. Today looks like this is what we did all through, let me see. Today looks like this is what we did all through 2023. And it was our way of doing a little time capsule. Let me find one in here. Oh, here we go. Basically, we pick a day, and I just randomly pick a day, and I write down everything I did that day. Now, within reason, right? I'm not like writing down everything, but then I sit down and this one was for May 12th of last year, and I just write down what I did. So it's a time capsule, kind of a fun time capsule. It's definitely a snapshot. I always say, gosh, I wish I had something like this when I was in high school, or when I had my first job, or when I was a brand new mom, because your days change so much, right? As you get older, different times of your life. So in 2023, we called it Today Looks Like This because we were using a paper pad from Everyday Explorers. I still have these on my website if you want to go back to this format, that had Today Looks Like This on it. And we kind of used that paper pad and we would build around it. I released a new stamp set in January, right? Called What a Day. And What a Day, Noelia, hello. You're Italy, right? Do I remember that? Noelia is saying the audio is skipping. If you guys will pipe up in the chat and let me know, is it skipping for everyone? It sounds like maybe it is, yes? So I have no idea what causes that to happen. Just a little click. So what would that be? It's crackling. So I have no clue. I wonder if Nick's doing something, crackling more than skipping. No idea, because nothing has changed. I wonder if Nick's like on the treadmill. I'm gonna keep going. Let's just hope it goes away, because I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Some people, not some people. Isn't that interesting? When it does that, then you're like, I have no idea. I'm gonna keep going. All right. And I apologize if it's doing that for some of you, because I know that can be super annoying. All right, but so for 2024 and going forward, we're doing What a Day. So same concept, but I am using the new What a Day stamp set. So that is a 6x8 stamp set. You have all 12 months of the year. You have your numbers. You have your little, I don't even know what you call these things that go with the numbers. Like if you're doing the 12th, you have the TH or the RD or the ND or the ST. You have some handwritten words, word strips. Anyhow, I'll show you what that first one looked like that we did. We did that in January, and that is What a Day for January. So basically, I'm using the month of the year stamp. I'm using that little Sunday through Saturday stamp, the numbers, and then making my little list. So that is what we are. It seems like it's getting worse. Let me just check on one quick thing. Nick?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought maybe you were on the treadmill. It's like making a clicking sound. Will you go on there and see if you can hear what it sounds like? Yeah. They said it's like clicking and cracking. Okay. All right. No, not on the treadmill. I thought maybe that was doing it, that it was causing interference or something. But yeah. So here's the thing, you guys. Some of you hear it, and some of you don't, which makes it really difficult. So I don't know. We're gonna keep going. Yeah, and you know what, Sheila? It's my phone. That's what I use to film. So the fact that some people are hearing it and some people aren't is, I don't know. That just makes it so weird. Let's see. Let me check on this, and then she calls Nick. I know, right? Hold on. Margie, I love this. Margie said, my daughter showed us her journal page yesterday when she was in high school, and it was father-daughter and how much fun it was, right? It's like a journal, okay? Basically what we're doing here is a journal. But I will tell you, I am no Ernest Hemingway. Most of us are not Ernest Hemingway. Some of us are, but most of us aren't. So a lot of times we are hesitant. You don't hear it?
I don't hear anything.
Okay. Well, you also are hard of hearing, so it could be the high pitch you can't hear. Thank you. Anyhow. some people are very afraid to write. They're afraid to write because they feel like they have to be Ernest Hemingway. So, if you want to journal or if you want to do something like this, you want to capture what your day was like, I think making a list is a super approachable way of doing it because you're just basically adding the facts, right? You're adding the facts. You're not worried about sounding all eloquent and flowery, or you don't know how to put two sentences together, or you don't want to get your feelings out. So, by just making a list, I think it's a lot easier and more approachable. So that's what we're doing. We're doing what a day now for the month of February. So since it's still winter, I thought I would use, let's look and see. And I need to grab this collection out because I did not grab it out before. Oh please, oh here it is, Winter Wonder. So I just need like a really subtle background, maybe. Really subtle background. Kaela. Kaelea. I'm probably totally mispronounced that. Just left a comment that I want to read. She said, "Hi, hello. I just discovered you today and had stamps to buy, especially the Swatch ones. Before I read about not being able to send to the EU, the European Union. So sad. Do you think you will be able to do so in the future?" Kia, like the car, Kia. But there's an L in there. Now that confuses me. Kia. Thank you. All right, so I am going to find a paper as we're working. This is Winter Wonder from Simple Stories. So I'm going to look through the paper pad to see what I can find while I respond to Kia. So back in, I don't know, it's been a couple years now, the EU, the European Union, and the UK made some changes to their tax laws. And one of the big changes that affected a lot of small businesses in the US was that if you are a business in the US and you have a website, you're an online business, and you are selling in any of the European Union countries or in any of the UK, the United Kingdom countries, you have to collect taxes and then pay those taxes to each of the individual countries where you do business in the EU and the UK, which, if you're a small business, makes it so difficult. I can't even tell you, like, so difficult to do. So many small businesses, like myself, had to make the decision to not sell in the EU and the UK because of that, because it just makes it so difficult. So at this time, I do not, unfortunately, sell to anyone living in the European Union countries or the United Kingdom countries. With that said, there is a workaround that when people email me, I share the workaround. So I will tell you what that is. There's kind of two workarounds as I'm picking papers. So I've maybe one of these. What I'm going to end up doing is I will end up creating a background and then creating a background, maybe this little guy, creating a background and then using white cardstock to make my list. So maybe we'll do this one, this little guy. All right, so the first workaround is if your purchase is $185 US or more, you can order. I can work with you to order, because in that case, your country collects the taxes when the collects the taxes from you when the package arrives in your country. Okay, so they're collecting the taxes if it's $185 or more. That's the first way. The second way, and this is probably a more common thing that I have people do, is you place an order for whatever the amount is, and you have me hold it until it hits. You keep adding to it until it hits that 185, and then you have me ship it to you. And in that case, your country collects the taxes when it arrives in country. Neither is ideal. I realize. It's just that, I can't even imagine trying to figure out how to collect the taxes and then pay the taxes in each of the countries in the EU. So unfortunately, that's what we're looking at. Martine is one of those who does that workaround. And she said it works very well. So whether usually what it is she just waits until she, figures out what can hit that amount, and then we go from there. So I apologize. It is not, it is not easier than that. But 185, Kayla. No, Keela. No, Kia. Third time's the charm. Kia, 185 US. And that's just the rule in the EU. Then that way they collect that. So now what I'm thinking is maybe I kind of like these two together. This one has a little bit of pink in it. So I'm going to just do this. I'm going to have a several layer piece here. Let's grab our white cardstock again. I thought I had a workaround with my website provider, and then it ended up not being a workaround that would work. So I said, hey, you want to know why? I will tell you guys why. Yes, 185, Kia, what you had written there, 185, $185. So my website provider is a very, is Shopify, and it is a very common platform used by millions and millions of merchants, online merchants. So they had reached out and said, hey, we noticed you're not selling in these countries, and can we ask why? And I said, yes. And they're like, oh, we have a solution for you. And they ran me all through the solution. I'm like, that's amazing. That would be great. Because they act as like a third party. They do it all. I'm like, that'll be amazing. And they said, okay, you just need to upgrade the plan you're on. I'm like, okay. And what does that involve? Well, that's $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year to do that. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's a hard no. That's a word. No. I'm sorry, but no. Yeah. They said, well, that's just an enterprise. You just have to be an enterprise solutions customer. And I'm like, did you look at my website? I sell pretty paper and stamps and stickers. No, I'm not in a position to spend $24,000 just to turn that little feature on. Yeah, sorry. But I tried. So, and I said, hey, if it ever changes, you let me know because I'll be right there, but not for $24,000. I'd have to do lots of sales in the UK to get there. In the EU. All right, so let's look at, we've got this. I would like a little bit of pink, so we need to just make this a little bit smaller, and then I'll do my white on top of that. So it's kind of wintry, but it's also not kind of wintry. Let's see where we want this to go. Terry, what zipper bag did I have? What zipper bag? Where are we? What was that zipper bag you just had? Terry, I have no idea. You know what? So here we go. Kia, that's a great idea. Thinking of asking around, seeing if maybe several people want to buy stamps and we can do a join buy. Absolutely. That is a great idea. If you can figure that out, maybe you have a crafting group in your country, and yeah, absolutely. And then I would just and I would just ship to one person. Okay. So I know this is what you meant. This is what you meant. You guys want to see something? Do I have one in here? You want a little sneak peek at something that's coming? Oh, I do. Okay. I do have something. So this is a, I don't know what size this is. It fits like 8.5 by 11 papers. I carried these for a while. I don't know if I have them on the website anymore. I know I have a smaller version of this. There is a 13 by 13 that I actually had used, the 13 by 13 version of this that I had used in one of my travel-themed Traveler's Notebook project kits last year in 2023. So it held all the product for the kit because I talked about when you travel, this would be a great thing to put your memorabilia and things like that in. Well, for a long time, I couldn't get the 13 by 13s and I got tired of waiting. So I sourced them, and that's one of the brand new products that you will see that will come out on that March 22nd for that weekend, and they'll be available after that, but that's another one that will launch that weekend. So it is this, but the zipper is not pink. Okay, so it's this 13 by 13. This was a sample from the company. This is navy, because navy is kind of my logo color. So the little zipper is navy, and then there is a little, there's a little tag here, that little fabric tag that says Layle by mail. But this is this really nice, it's super, super thick, like plastic. Anyhow, coming. All right. Oh, I'm just swirling all over the place today, aren't I? All right. I can't wait for those to come because, well, there's a lot of fun things that I can't wait to get here. But it's Chinese New Year right now. We're in the middle of Chinese New Year. And Chinese New Year is when all the factories shut down. So the factories in China, they're not making products right now. So I have some stuff that is shipping as soon as, actually, I think those already shipped. I have other things that are should be arriving, a big pallet next week, but those will be kept secret until, because we got to make a big splash. Anyhow, lots of fun things coming. All right, there we go. There's the start of my list. 2 hours. You know, I think we'll be good. Cross my fingers. I think that we'll be good. Kia said, I have a couple of those. There was a Spanish website that gave one as a present with your buy, and they are super useful. Totally recommend. Yes, yeah. They're nice to just hold projects, kits, memorabilia, what have you. Okay, so now I need to make my little smaller. This is going to be like a little 3-layer. We've got a 3-layer list going here. And I will tell you the measurements of what these pieces are, because I didn't measure, I just cut. Alrighty, so that's funny. I wasn't even paying attention, Terry. I'm like, what zipper pouch? All right, so this white is 3.5 wide by about 6 3/4 tall. Okay, 3.5 by 6 3/4 is this one. And that second layer is about 4 by 7 1/4. Okay, so basically this one's a little bit smaller than that one, and this one's a little bit smaller than that one. All right, so now let's get our stamping ready. The What a Day stamp set. So it is February. I would think, so we talked about this kind of idea. I was saying how cool it would be if I had something like this when I, from different parts of my life, but how cool if I had something like this of my mother's or my grandmother's. Now, how cool would that be? So you could see what, like my grandma, like a day in the life of my grandmother when in the 50s, or my mom in like 1975. All right, the day that I am doing this for is the 15th of February. So now we get our little numbers out. 1, 5, and then I need the TH. Where are we here? TH, okay. All right, so there's my start. Now, actually, I should probably adhere these down. I'm working off the page again because as I'm stamping, I might as well excuse me, do all my stamping on my flat surface. It makes it a little bit easier. All right, so now let's see what colors I'd like to use. That is a really, really, really dark navy. And I don't think, because I think we looked at this last week, we were looking for a really, really, really dark navy. Karen, yes, more simple stories coming. Yes, in March, 3 new collections. 4 new collections. They've been ordered for quite a while. You'll see them on the coming soon page of my website because right now I can't recall what they're named. Oh, Novena. I'm so sorry to hear that. Novena said my grandma just passed away this week, and I had her fill out one of the Today Looks Like This pages this last Christmas. I'm so thankful to have it, right? Seriously, I'm so sorry that she passed away, but I'm so happy for you that you have that, right? That's a little piece of her. That is a little piece of her. I'm thinking, what if we do maybe evergreen bough? That might be nice. I think I'm going to go with evergreen bough because I remember from last week there is not like a super dark navy. Not really a super dark navy. I mean, that is almost black. It's that dark. So as we look, yeah, it even looks darker as we get into blue. So everything's just too blue. Chipped sapphire would be close, but I think evergreen bough. I think that will be fun. So looking at our little sample here, I need my little stamping block and my little test book. I need to move these up here because they'll end up getting picked up by something else and I'll lose them because that happens all the time. All right, we're gonna go with that little guy. Getting a couple different size stamping blocks out here for what we need. I think that will cover everything. One of the things that we talk about when we're stamping is having the right, let me do one more thing here, is having the right tool for the job, right? I have pulled out at least 3 different stamping blocks that I'm going to use on this list because my stamps are different sizes. If I have to go with my lowest common denominator, which if I do, right? If I go with the lowest common denominator, this is the only block I have. That means it will fit that one, the February, but then I also need to use it for my little TH. Now I can use it for my little TH. It just gets a little bit more difficult because it's hard to get the right kind of pressure and impression because the block is so much bigger than the stamp. So if you can have multiple size stamping blocks so that you fit kind of the different size stamps, I think that makes life a little bit easier. Makes it a little bit easier. All right, I'm going to ink up those edges. And I think I'll just do pink. I'll do that pink just to kind of make it so that's not so stark. So let's see what we have. Spun sugar. Let's go with spun sugar. That's going to look pretty close to me. So I pulled out my little storage solution for my little foam blending tools, okay? That little storage solution you'll see in the what I'm using on the website. It's always linked there because I use it almost every time. So that little case holds up to 40 of your little domed foam blenders. I put that on my little tool here. So I have a little blender for each of the colors. And then I have labeled them on top and then also labeled them on the sheet. So I always know that is spun sugar. There's no kind of mixing, saying, I think that one's spun sugar, and then I end up, it's a different color, and then I end up contaminating my little blending head. All right, so I need to get a little bit of ink on there. I am circular motion on that ink pad, and I'm just going to come in and ink the edges. I flipped that over because my pencil marks are on the other side. And I'm just going to ink the edges a little bit. That will soften that white. And it'll help it to blend in a little bit more into that background. So that What a Day stamp set is fun because I designed it so we could do these pages every month, but it's also awesome in that outside of this, you have your large numbers, you have the 12 months of the year, you have some handwritten word strips, you have some text word strips, just kind of use it for lots of different things. All right, there it totally kind of changes that look, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Here it is if it's just the white, okay? So it's kind of really stark. It's a stark change from the background to the white cardstock. But when we look at it this way, See that? How it now kind of just blends right in to that background. It's an easy way to, basically, it's almost like adding a mat, right? It's almost like adding a mat to your photos. I mean, not your photos, to your, in this case, to your list or your cardstock or whatever. Let's see. All right. Yes, Kaya, the squirrel comes from a movie in the US. I don't know if it would be in, you should probably tell us, what country are you from? But a movie called Up, and it was a Disney movie called Up. And in the US, the saying squirrel means that you're like doing something, and if you get distracted and I might be doing this and go, oh, hey, did I tell you guys about? I go off on a totally different tangent. That sometimes is called squirrel. You squirrel. Spain. Very good. All right. So now I want to test that. So I have inked that up and just give this a little test here. Does it look good? Do I like the color on there? I think I will like the color on there. I think that will look good. So let's ink that up again, right? We want to ink that up again because we already deposited most of the ink on that little test. So let's go maybe right about here. February. And we'll clean that off right away. Good idea. Just clean off your stamps as soon as you're done using them and put them away as soon as you're done using them. That way they don't leave you. That way you don't lose them. Okay. Let's see. And now it was the 15th, but before I do the 15th, I have this little strip of letters that represent the days of the week. So one thing, did you notice how I'm going to move this a little bit closer to me so I can see it a little bit better, how I put my stamps on my work surface and then pick them up from there with the block? That is a little bit easier way to make sure you're picking up your stamps for them to be kind of straight. Colleen, I know there was a squirrel in Christmas Vacation, but I didn't know there was a line in the movie about squirrel like that. All right, so then I put that little Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday underneath the February. I did not know that, and I've seen that movie like a gazillion times. A gazillion times. Oh, Tracy! Tracy said, OMG, I was just making a date with a friend on the phone and went back to check what I missed and saw my name. Oh, that's so fun. Congratulations, Tracy. All right, so ink that up again. I'm going to bring this a little bit closer to me so that I can see it. I stand when I'm crafting. I stand when I do everything. Literally, I stand all day long. But especially when it comes to stamping, I find that if you can stand while you're stamping, you get a much better stamped impression because you have leverage. All right, you have leverage. If you sit when you are stamping, I see you have your little T-Rex arms. So right now, if you're sitting or if you're standing, sit, but move your arms like this. If you're sitting, your range of motion is pretty limited with your arms in terms of like being able to stamp. But if you're standing, your range of motion, you have so much more range of motion, which means you have so much more leverage when you are stamping. So I only ever stamp standing up. I think that is one thing that will really help you if you haven't been stamping much, is to stand while you're stamping. The next video that I will do after I do the one for the tour of my redone craft room is, a whole bunch of tips, tricks, and techniques when it comes to stamping. They're the things that I usually talk about all the time when I'm doing, my Saturdays, when I talk about conditioning the stamps and talk about standing and talk about, a bunch of different things. So that will be coming. I won't say when yet because I don't know. Not sure when yet. The idea book right now has to take all of the time That has to get done. So that's what we're working on. That's what I'm working on. You'll notice that the 5 is black. I just didn't clean it off last time, which I shouldn't, that's not good. You should always clean your stamps after you use them. That is not going to affect the stamped impression at all. It's not going to make one side darker than the other. You would think that the 5 would be discolored, but it's not. It's just that the polymer, the material is just stained, but it's not affecting that stamped impression or the color at all. All right, February 15th. So I'm inking this guy again. Okay. And I would like this to go right below that. Okay, February 15. And now I need my TH, but I need to clean this. I need some more moisture on my stamp chamois here. I can still, like if I work at it, I just need to work at it. I can still get that 5 back to its nice original white color, clear color. It's just a lot harder. It's much easier if you clean your stamps. It's like if you leave your dishes in the sink overnight, you can still get them clean. It's just you have to work a little harder, right? Although then you can eat on it, but you probably don't want to eat on it. Whereas this, you can still stamp on it and it's fine. All right, now we need a little TH, and I'm moving now to a smaller stamping block. You see I'm moving to one of my little circular stamping blocks because I have that much smaller stamp. And now it's a lot easier for me to hold. Ooh, and I just had my nails done yesterday. Now I've got black ink on there. Colleen said, I believe it was when the squirrel jumped out of the Christmas tree in the living room. I remember that scene well. Because it jumps onto Grandpa's head, right? I think, or Grandma. I don't remember which one. No, Grandpa's head, his toupee catches on fire. It must be Grandma. I think he jumps into Grandma. But I just don't remember them saying squirrel like that. I've got to go back and watch it. All right, here's my TH. So it's for the 15th. Okay. Now, I would like to take, we'll see if this works, spun sugar. I'm going to go back to spun sugar again. And I would like to highlight the fact that the 15th was on Thursday, right? Thursday. So if I can either circle that, I could use I can either circle it, I could use a dot marker, or I'm pulling out the perpetual calendar, my perpetual calendar stamp, and I am going to grab this little circle. This little circle is intended on the perpetual calendar stamp to highlight any of those things, but I am going to use it on this stamp set to highlight the day of the week, which was Thursday. So I've just taken out my little stamping stylus. That is basically now another smaller, a smaller stamping block, right? But because now I'm so small, it'd be really hard if I had a little teeny one like that. It'd be really hard to hang on to. So now the stamping stylus is really easy to hold on to because it's like a pen or pencil. So I've inked that up. I put my stamp on the end, but I'm not sure if it's the right size or if I'll like it. So look what I can do. I can come back over into my test one and do that. Oh, I love it. Okay, look it. There it is. So I've highlighted that. So let's come back here and now highlight that Thursday. Like so. Okay. All right. Now we are about ready to do our list. Okay. Let's put this away. I'm going to clean this off and get it put away right away because it's a smaller stamp. Ooh, that just made me realize I did not do that other one. Oopsie. All right, let me just put these things away because based on experience, you always, always, always want to put your stamps away or else, especially the smaller they get, You will lose them. We don't want to lose them. Kaya, yeah, the stamping stylus for sure. That's definitely a handy little tool. Sophia said, "Yeah, I finally figured out how to join the chat." Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, and it's that stylus has been an awesome little invention. That's for sure. What you find with me, most of the products that I create and have manufactured and released, they're out of necessity. I'll be like, oh wait, I need something that would do that, or hey, I really need this zipper pouch that would do this, or help make it easier for that, or that's generally where the things come from. Necessity is the mother of invention. Oh, where is, oh, there it is, my little ruler. Okay, so we're just gonna do a little tiny, maybe just a little there, just to separate from our list that we're about to make. Okay? Alrighty. Now, I need to get a little decorating in here first. So before we work on a list, I would like to have something fun. I mean, it's fun, but it's kind of boring right now, right? Well, I love that little snowflake, but that is really not color. But I'm thinking maybe, let's just see something here. What if, these are rub-ons. These are rub-ons from Winter Wonder. There are 2 sheets. So, looks like they're both the same. I am going to, as I pull those out, I am going to staple the sheet together. Not the 2 design sheets, but this is the rub-on or the transfer sheet. I'm stapling to the protective backer sheet. That protective backer is there for a reason. It's really important. If this becomes separated from this, well, this sticks. So if I forget and I don't have those 2 stapled together and accidentally this becomes over here and it's sitting there, that rub-on can transfer somewhere I don't want it to be. So if I'm stapled together, then I should be good. Next thing I'm going to do is cut apart, cut away, I guess I should say. Cut the design I want to use away from the rest of the sheet. I find it much easier to work with a rub-on if I have cut it away from the sheet, because now I'm only working with that little guy, as opposed to trying to somehow use the whole sheet and only get part of it where I want. So what I was thinking is, what if, I'm going to need to adhere this, because I'm thinking this little snowflake could be part on my list, the white part of the list, and part off. Like, what if it comes up here? Like that. Or what if it comes up here? Like that. I think I like it over here a little bit better than I liked it over there. All right, we're going to do that. So it is transferred or rubbed on by pressure. So I'm going to grab the little popsicle stick that comes in that little rub-on package, and I'm going to start rubbing that design on to my project. When I do that, I want to make sure that I'm always holding with my other hand that image down. If I move this image, if this image moves at all, then it will create a little skip in the rub-on. Okay, so in this case, I would see either, the pink pattern paper through, or I would see kind of white, like a little white crack in that snowflake. So you notice as I was rotating that, I've been holding on with my left hand the entire time. So it's all staying in one place. All right, so it looks like it has all transferred. I still want to hold on. I'm going to hold on, and I'm going to start to lift up that sheet, and I'm still holding on. I want to continue to hold on, because if there's any part that I did not get transferred, like there's a little piece right there, I can just lay that right back down, because I haven't moved it. I've still been holding on. I can lay that back down and then gently peel up again while still holding. Oh, it's still there. There we go. I'm holding on, holding on, holding on. As long as I keep holding on, if there was any part of that image that didn't transfer, then I can lay it back down and it's still in the same place and go back. So that's what I had done there. All right, there we go. So what's fun about a rub-on as opposed to a sticker or a die cut? It does not have the little white border around it. So it looks like that was printed on the paper or stamped directly on the paper. All right. The little pink bird, I know, Jill. I was thinking about that too. I was thinking somewhere where I could work in the little pink bird. So I know we have a pink bird on the rub-ons. We also have a little pink bird in the stickers. But I think maybe down below, that little pink bird just maybe kind of standing down at the bottom of our little day. What do we think? I think that would be fun. So, oh, okay, this is the second sheet. I had not stapled that. So I've been using rub-ons literally for probably 25 years. They used to be really big back in the day. They went away for a long time and they are back. So these are all the little tips that I have learned along the way. Trust me on that staple one, I promise you. Promise. All right, hang on. There's one more thing. I had this little, all right. Before we do the bird, and I already got rid of his little backer, so I turned him upside down. There's a little rating stamp here. So there's a little rating stamp that I think I'd like to use, the bottom, and I think I'll have the little bird go above that. So let me see if that fits. Let me just get that on there. I'm going to put the little rating right here, and then I can color it in, and then I'll put the little bird on top of it. So do I want to do green again? Actually, I'm not going to do green. I'm going to do black. The reason I'm going to do black is then I can color in the little stars, right? See how there are, see how there's rating, and then it has 5 open stars. So you can kind of, fill in your little stars. I'll fill in my stars with black. So let's grab our little black ink here again. And I do want to test this, right? One of the other reasons why it's a good idea to test before you actually stamp on your project is to get a feel for the amount of pressure that you need to apply when you're stamping. And this is going to be a prime example of that. This is a fairly dainty, I don't know if that's the right word, stamp, fine. So you see how fine that is? Like, oh, Mickey, you're so fine. But see how fine that is? I want to make sure I know what type of pressure I need to apply, because with something like that is so fine detailed, if I press and apply too much pressure, if I press really hard, I am going to flatten out that stamp. Okay, do you see the difference in those two? One is not necessarily better or worse than the other, but you can see the top one, I applied minimal pressure, and the second one, I pressed way too hard. And I know that because I know what the stamp is supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like the tall one. If you're working with sometimes a thicker stamp and you press really hard, it's totally going to squish out the material, and it can really change the look of your stamp. So that's another reason to test. It just gives you kind of get a feel for the amount of pressure that you need to apply. All right, so here we go. I'm going to do rating right here. There's my nice little rating, nice and fine and detailed. I love that. And then this was a good day. The 15th was a good day. So I am going to come in and just color in my little stars. We'll say it was a 5-star day, I think. And I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to give you a little tiny star that then you could kind of stamp in there instead of having to color it in. And I decided against it because it's such a small little star that I thought it might be more of a pain. I thought it might be just easier to color it in. So 5-star day. I got it, Colleen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. I gotcha. Hi, Ann. All right, so 5 stroke a day, and then, oopsie, we're gonna take our little bird rub on, and he can sit, he, she, it, I don't know, can sit. Oh, we might have to go over here. That's kind of funny. It kind of looks like it's pooping stars. All right, maybe not. Maybe it needs to come over here. I don't really like it there either. This was my concern. Now, if he goes here, I don't have a lot of room for writing of the things that I want to do. Well, guess what? Actually, we'll put him over here. Him, her. We'll put this one over here because I didn't want to put it here because then there's something there and something there. So I felt like it needs to go there. That's where it's going. That's where it's going. Again, I am using my little popsicle stick to transfer or rub that design onto my paper, making sure that I am holding it. Always, always, always holding it when I am rubbing, because sometimes you're applying a good amount of pressure, and if it moves while you are rubbing, you'll get a little crack in the rub-on. And it's not the end of the world, it's just pretty obvious when that happens. All right, so I think I'm good. Now I want to come in with my tweezers, or you can just pick it up with your fingers, but I want to keep holding. I want to keep holding because I can gently remove that little top, make sure that I have transferred the entire design. If I hadn't transferred it, as long as I was holding it and I went, oh, I forgot to put that part, then I can just lay it right back down and continue. Okay, so now we're ready for our things. What things happened? And I have, let me see, in my little handy dandy notebook. Oopsie. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So I think what I will do, normally I end up with something like this, where it is like a numbered list or a bulleted list, like one after the other after the other. I think here what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do more of a run-on list. So this would be an example of a run-on list where I just start writing and then I use some kind of stamp to separate each of the things on my list. Because I think then that way I'll have a little bit more room to write. So I can do a couple things here. I'm going to grab that, and then I'm also going to grab the Bullets and More 2 stamp set. So I have the winter mini icons, and I have Bullets and More 2. This will give you a good reference point for scale. The Bullets and More are little teeny guys, right? They are the kind that I use when I am, let's see, a little bit bigger. Oh, here we go. So this would be an example of a bullet. Those little hollies, those are small and they are kind of breaking up each of the things on my list. Those presents are mini icon size. You can get a feel for the scale. That's maybe about a quarter of the size. The bullets are going to be about a quarter of the size of your mini icons. Here's another example. Mini icon size, bullet size. So I want little bullets to write my little list, and then I may decide to take one of these guys, the mini icons, and maybe just do a couple more snowflakes. I don't know. I think I better wait. I think I better do this part first. Let's get my list done, and then we'll see about decorating it beyond that. So, Bullets and More 2. This is probably, right now, my most used, me personally, the most used stamp set that I have, because I use bullets on almost every list. So this is Bullets and More 2. And has 72 little bullet stamps. Oh, no. Guess what's missing? See, Gotta put them away. Look at my little Christmas tree is missing. I have no clue where Christmas tree is. That just means I didn't put them away last. Darn it. Oh well, what do you do? Not cry over spilt milk. That's what we do. Okay, so I think I'll continue on with this green for my bullets. Whoopsie. Okay, there we go. First thing on my list. Well, I woke up. So here's the thing. Do you say that you woke up on your one-a-day list or not? I mean, I assume that we woke up. So I'm going to say I'm not going to do that. I'll jump to my second thing. Kia, do the stamps come inside those plastic envelopes? They do not. The little plastic stamp sleeves are something that I sell separately on my website. And I'll just tell you guys, 3x4 fits a 3x4 stamp set. 3x4 trimmed down with your scissors fits a 3x3 stamp set. Okay, both of those little sleeves are 3x4. This one I just cut the top off so it fits the 3x3. All right. The very first thing after I, had coffee and woke up and all of that was I did a Peloton workout. For an hour. Then I got in the shower because after the Peloton workout for an hour, that was kind of necessary. That was necessary. It was a good one. Then I had a call with Trisha at Firefly Farm. That's a place that in Minnesota that I teach at. After that, I processed orders because Lily and Denise had the day off. So got some orders out. And then worked on the 2023 idea book, which is well underway. All the photos are placed, and all the photos taken of the list. They are edited. They are placed in the idea book. All the titles, all the links, all the timestamps, all of that's done. And now the writing, because there's a little bit more writing in this one this time. So yeah, that's the part. That is the part. Say what time you woke up. Sunset tends to change through seasons, years. Talia, I love that. I love that. That's a great idea. So next time I think I should do that, right? I think I should do that. What time I woke up and what time I went to bed, because that totally changes through the years, doesn't it? Absolutely. Worked on the idea book. So then I talked on the phone with Jack. For a half hour. Jack's our older son. That's a long time for him. That is a long time. He is usually pretty short. Our conversations are pretty short, but no, that was a long conversation for us. So we had a really good conversation. So I ate lunch. What did I have for lunch? Oh, I know. Had a shrimp Caesar salad for lunch. That was yummy. Here at home, then yes, let's see. So basically, a number of hours prepped for Saturday listing session. And then Oh, two more things. Worked on the 3 Craft Chicks Make and Take. All right, now I'm gonna have to, this is really teeny. Packed for Hawaii. Now, in hindsight, what I should have done, I should have waited to do the rating, right? I should have waited to do the rating because then I could have dropped the rating down a little bit because I went right into that. So I think what I will do, I think I will maybe do the same thing with my little ruler, but just maybe one little ruler here. Just one little tiny line to try to separate that a little bit. That helps to maybe just separate it a little bit because I'm a little bit close there. All right. So I think it's pretty much done. The only other thing that I said maybe I would do would be to put this away. Now look it, I'm bad. I have quite a few stamps out that I haven't put away yet. See, that's do as I say, not as I do, because I've lost my little Christmas tree. All right. So what I was thinking maybe I would do, I don't know, if I put in a couple of, I just don't think, I was thinking about putting in a couple of the little snowflakes from the winter mini icons, but I think, I don't know, I think that might just look a little odd. So I'm not going to do that because I think the scale, they're so much smaller. I think that that might just look a little like afterthought-ish. So I'm not going to do that. But what I may do is I may grab one more of those little guys and maybe put them right over here. So let's see. Let us see if we think we want to do that. And then we'll call it good. And then we'll be ready for our last list. And our last list will go pretty quickly. So I'll go a little bit over my 3 hours. Nick will come in here, just watch in a while. He's gonna kind of say, hey, remember, we got stuff to do before we go to our thing tonight and then leave town early in the morning. Where did the What a Day stamp set go? Okay, there. What did I do with it? What did I, oh, here we go. Okay. Because I've got to put the rating back on. All right, so this is, and I'll actually talk about this quite a bit when we do our anniversary thing, because something is coming. My process for how I store all my little stamps and stuff. So that's coming. That is coming. All right, one more maybe little rub-on we're thinking. Maybe one rub-on. I've got a mess going up in here. I keep saying, so Lily and Denise work for me. They work part-time. They work 24 hours a week each. And Denise is a crafter. Lily is not. And Denise was, I think she said like last weekend she was walking, for a little while on Saturday. She just, from home just popped in because she just wanted to see what was going on. And I'm like, oh, Denise, anytime you want to come to my house and watch on a Saturday, you come and I will pay you. Because I always say, oh my gosh, I really wish that I could have somebody cleaning all this stuff up behind me, right? Keeping things organized. So do we want to do this little guy? Sure. Let's just do him. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to do it. I wish that was a little bit smaller scale, but it's fine. It's fine. All right. So here we go. Rubbing all that on. And not funny. I'm like, no, the mini icon is too small. It's like I wanted something in between the mini icon and these giant snowflakes. There's probably something like that in the sticker book, but that's all right. That's okay. All right. Let's just make sure that that is nice and transferred and everything looks good. Whoops, little part there that did not get transferred. That's why we keep holding it until, oh, there's another little part down here That's why we keep holding it still as we lift until we make sure that everything is transferred. All right, there we go. There we are. There's my what a day. See, we kind of need something over here now, but then it's like spinning. I don't know. We're good. It's going to stay that way. That's what it is. All right. So this one will go right there. I like, well, this is kind of funny. I was going to say, I really like navy and kind of that light pink together. Those are my, that's like my brand colors. Navy is the primary. Well, look at navy and that blush pink. No surprise that that's what I ended up with on that list. All right, let's get this guy adhered in. And then we'll be ready for our last list for today. Our last list for today is in the news for the month of January. So while I clean up, we're going to talk a little bit about in the news. In the news is a list that I have done for the last couple of years. It actually came out of the About Last Month lists that I do every month. Way back in the day, like 3.5 years ago, when I started doing About Last Month, I was including things that happened in my life, my family's life, friends, whatever, and things that were happening in the news on the same list. And it just got to be too much. I'm like, well, this isn't working. There's too much to write. I don't have enough room. So I decided to split them up into 2 different lists. So About Last Month and in the news. About Last Month is always about me or my family or, kids or whatever. And in the news is always about what's happening in the news. And in the news, it could be in the news local. It could be in the news national. It could be in the news world, right? Couple things that I always like to cover before we start this list. News can be extremely polarizing. It can be very political. So I always ask that when we do this list that if we're in the chat talking about the news, that we keep it to just the facts. We do not add any kind of commentary. And that is something that I will also do. I keep it in the facts. I don't give commentary about things one way or another, whether I disagree or agree. For example, Usher, let's just take this as an example. Usher, the artist, performed at the Super Bowl. So if I was adding that to my list, I would say Usher performed at the Super Bowl. I would not say Usher did a great halftime show at the Super Bowl, and I would not say Usher could have done better at the Super Bowl, right? I don't give any commentary. And I ask that you guys do the same if you were chatting in the chat, that we keep it all just to the facts, because I know that you guys did not come here to get into a debate with someone about whether something was good or bad in the news. So we just keep it just the facts. Ahead of time, I've done 2 things ahead of time. I always do 2 things ahead of time for this list. Number 1 is I have all throughout the month, I keep a note on my phone. Hi, Mom. Hello, hello. Better late than never. Well, it's always nice to see you pop in. So throughout the month, I'm keeping a running note on my phone of just news items. So I get my news items from a lot of different sources. I may be watching the news on TV. I may be listening to the radio or listening to a podcast, and something comes up and I'm like, oh, that happened in the news. I want to note that down. But primarily where I get my news things that are on my in the news list are emails from different news sources. So I subscribe to a handful of emails from different news sources, usually come either 5 days a week or 7 days a week, and they're all free. And they just are like the headlines. So they have maybe little articles, but they're headlines. And that's sometimes how I'm adding things to my list. There is a PDF in the Layle by Mail Facebook group of quite a few, I want to say maybe 10 to 12 different news feeds that you can subscribe to. They're all free. I don't subscribe to them all. And it's not important which ones I subscribe to. I will tell you that when I put that list together, I had enough times people say, where do you get your news sources that I said, well, I should put a list together. And when I was putting that list together, I did some research to try to find different news feeds that covered the spectrum. And when I say spectrum, I mean left, right, center. And those words could mean different things to different people. It's just important that there's a broad range covering different views. So I don't subscribe to them all. Again, not important which ones I subscribe to. And don't get mad at me if I have something on that list that is against your beliefs when it comes to the news. Again, I try to keep it very, very, very broad. So it met a lot of different perspectives out there. And then there's never been an issue. There's never been an issue in the chat. You guys are always very respectful of that. No one has ever come at me because I had something on that news feed list and not something else. But I just always like to just say that ahead of time, so we're on the same page. So throughout the month, I keep a running list on my phone of newsworthy items. And then when I'm prepping for our Saturdays, then I transfer those things into my little handy dandy listing notebook. So that's what I have down here in the news January, and then my little list of things. That's the first thing I do to prep. Second thing is I pick some photos. Usually I have photos. Sometimes I don't have photos on a list like this, but I've picked some photos. Now, obviously, none of these photos are mine. These are photos that I Google. For example, in January, Mickey Mouse entered the public domain. And it was not all of Mickey Mouse. It was just some of Mickey Mouse. But basically, the copyright or registered whatever it is on that Mickey Mouse is now in the public domain, meaning anyone can use it for anything, which is kind of a big deal. So I Googled Mickey Mouse public domain, and a whole bunch of images come up. I find what I like. I save it to the camera roll on my phone, and then I print it out. So the printer that I'm always using to do this is the Epson PictureMate PM400 printer. I have it linked in the description box of the video. It takes you to Amazon. If you buy that printer from there, I get a couple dollars. And when I say couple dollars, I really mean couple dollars. I'm not I'm not retiring on that. But I always like to be clear about that. But that printer is awesome. That printer prints 3.5 by 5s, 4 by 6s, and 5 by 7s. It's an awesome little printer. It's just great, great printing. That is the printer that I use for 99% of the photos in my traveler's notebooks. So when we look at any of the lists that I do that have photos, those are printed on that Epson PictureMate PM400 printer. I print those photos using Steamboat Willie. Yes, that's what it is, Mandy, and that is that version. It's Steamboat Willie. I'm using the Epson Creative Print app. That is the video that I just did this week, about 30-minute video where I'm taking you step by step through that app, showing you how to use it and some fun tips and tricks that kind of make using it a little bit easier. So that is how I have printed this. That's how I printed this photo. That is a 5 by 7 photo with 1, 2, 3, 4 smaller photos printed on that 5 by 7. Okay, there's the 5 by 7, 1, 2, 3, 4 photos on that 5 by 7. The Epson Creative Print app. Kind of the biggest thing I think it has going for it is that it has a whole bunch of pre-configured templates or layouts that you can then select, and then you put your photos in. So this is a layout for up. This was a layout 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up. You can do it in 5 by 7s. You can do it in 4 by 6s. Here's another one that would be 8 up. There's just a whole bunch of different pre-configured layouts or templates. So if you want to do something like that, it's one photo. You don't have to do Photoshop, right? Or if I wanted smaller photos, I could still print it out like this and then cut apart those photos. So it's pretty awesome. But this is the series of photos I'm going to use. This is 5 by 7. I mentioned earlier that the inserts that I use, my inserts are standard wide. They are 5 by 8.25. But here I need to trim this down a little bit, even though this is 5 and this is 5. The reason I need to trim this down a little bit, make it a little bit narrower, is because you lose a couple of millimeters in the center with the stapling or the binding. So I am going to put my photo on the left page. I don't often do that. Usually when I do this list, I put it on the right page, and there's no rhyme or reason why I always put it on the right page, but here there's going to be a definite reason why I'm putting it on the left page, and I'll talk about that. I'll show you why in just a second. So I'm actually going to make this really pretty narrow. I'm going to make this little guy just a little bit narrower even on the other side, just because I'm deep enough in my insert now that I'm starting to lose some of that width, right? Because it's like having to wrap around that corner. So are we good there? We are. Now, the reason why I am putting the photo on the left instead of the right, usually my list is over here and my photo's over here, and that's just what I do. The reason I'm going to flip it this time is because of what I did, well, not what I did, but what I may want to do here. I have left this blank for now, right? Because this is a single page list and I'm about ready to do a 2-page list. Normally I stamp on this page because I use in the new stamp sets. I don't know yet what I do right here. I may want to do a list on this page where I'm doing it directly on the insert itself. Okay, so I might want to do it directly on the insert itself, like this. This list was done directly on the insert. And if I stamp on this page, it may affect the look of this page because I may see some shadowing or ghosting. Okay, and I know that I will for sure see that because of the stamp I'm going to use on my list today. I'm using that stamp. That's a pretty big stamp. It's pretty thick letters. There'll be a lot of ink deposited on those letters, which means I'll probably see some shadowing or ghosting on the back side. What I mean by that is if I look at these numbers. So look at that 6 on this page. Now this paper is quite a bit thinner than the inserts, but that's probably not a good example because it's a little bit harder to see because of what's underneath it. Here we go. This is the 15 that I just tested for my last list. Much thinner paper than the inserts, but still, do you see that shadowing or ghosting? See how I can see the reverse of the 15 on that? Even when I lay that flat, I can still see it. So that just reminds me, I want to always be thinking about either what I did already on this page or what I'm about to do here or what I might want to do later here. I just kind of need to keep that in mind. So I'm going to do my list over here and my stamping over here. The other thing, because when I do in the news, in a lot of cases, I like to stamp directly on the page. It starts to get a little bit harder when I get deeper into my insert like this to stamp like on this page just because it's kind of rounded. All right. Let's see. Colleen said, Layle, I read an interesting article regarding King Charles and what happens if due to his health he is unable to continue to reign. It outlined the few scenarios. Very interesting, right? So one of the things on my list is I kind of get to start working here. One of the things on my list is that King Charles was diagnosed with prostate cancer in the month of January. And so because he's the king, right now he is kind of stepped back from his duties while I think he gets treatment or whatever they're saying. Temporarily. Now, permanently, if that happens, and Colleen, when you say you read about the scenarios, I guess I didn't realize there was more than one scenario. I thought the scenario would be that Prince William then becomes the king. Is that, maybe that's one of the scenarios. All right, I just grabbed some different adhesive for a minute. Hi, Gracie Creates. Oh no, she's saying hi to my mother. Anyway, hi. Because you've been here the whole time. I get it now. You're saying hi to my mom. I missed that part. I pulled in a different adhesive. Normally I use this adhesive on my list, which is totally fine. But here for this, I want to use a different adhesive. The reason I want to use a different adhesive, I want to use some double-sided tape, much stronger, along this edge because it needs to grip as it's kind of going around this little, it's curving right here because I've got all of this stuff in here so far. So it needs to have a little bit more grip. I'm going to give it a little bit more grip by putting that double-sided tape right there. Okay, so that it's going to get super close to the edge, and then it will also help it just grip. And you know what? I might as well just do this the whole way. All right. So now that will make it so it doesn't stick straight up in the air, because this edge will want to stick straight up in the air. Well, not stick straight up in the air, but it's going to want to move and not stay adhered, just because gravity is going to want to make it pop up. All right. So I am right-handed. This is the left side, right? Left side of my book. I'm right-handed. It's much easier for me if I rotate. My book is now upside down. I'm still working on the left page, but it's on the right because it's upside down. That makes it easier than to work with my right hand here. So I'm going to line it up over here like that. And then make it go around that little curve. So now it will stay flat, although I probably went a little bit too far. Just a little bit too far, but that's all right. Okay, so now you can see it almost goes right down into the center there. All right. So there's the start. I am going to, I thought I'd pull in the 2024 About Last Month stamp set because I have the handwritten months here in my writing. So I could stamp February right up there at the top. Or I could use the February in this one, the What a Day stamp set that I just used. So if I put February there, and actually, you know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm not going to use this guy up here because if I use him up here, because of the Y in my handwriting goes way down low. And if I stamp that here, so the Y is not on top of King Charles, then I end up with this weird little trapped white space there. And I don't want to do that. All right. So I am not going to use February as I thought I was. Well, I'm still going to use February, but I won't use it from About Last Month. I'm going to go back to What a Day. And there is no little descender. That's what that is. That little guy right there, if that's an imaginary line, that is a descender. It goes below the line. In this case, my H would be an ascender. It would go above the imaginary line on top, if you ever wondered. But I'm going to go with something that does not have a descender or an ascender, and that would be that February. No, January. See, thank you, Jane. I just figured that out myself and looked at the chat. Yes, this is January. Wait, I'm not doing About Last Month yet for February because February is not over. Woo! But guess what? If I had done that, I wouldn't be sad because you know what I would do? I would just get out a piece of white cardstock and I would stamp January and I would adhere it right over the misstamped February. But I also can't use January for this one for the same reason. I've got my little loopy Y descender. Okay, I need to get out a tool. This is another thing. We talk about stamping. We talk about some really important things when you're stamping that can make a huge difference. One of those, as we said, was standing while you're stamping. The other one is having something that you can put underneath your page in order to give yourself a flat surface to stamp on. That is a pencil board, okay? So pencil board is a fancy name for something, like I said, hard, that you can slide underneath something in order to give yourself a flat surface to stamp or write on. I have pencil boards on my website, but you can also make your own, okay? This is one that one of you, Nancy Golison, made for me and sent it to me. It is a piece of chipboard that she just covered with pattern paper. So you just want to have something that's sturdy that gives you a nice flat surface to stamp it right on. Because what happens is, as you have been working, you may have bumps or lumps underneath, right? Here, I have a layer and a layer. So depending on where I'm stamping, I could run into one or both of those layers. And if I run into one or both of those layers, it is going to affect my stamp impression. I'm probably not going to like it. If I put a pencil board underneath that page, then I have a nice flat surface to stamp on. Okay? Let's do, you know what, I always, if you look back at my in the news photos, my in the news lists, I generally end up with, I'm just pulling out the idea book, page 48. I generally end up with a lot of same color photos from month to month. Look at blue, blue, blue. I turned that one black and white because none of the photos were working for me. Blue, blue, blue. Blue seems to be a predominant color, and that's probably because there's, in my news, there's a lot of politics, and you all see in our country a lot of red and blue. There just tends to be a lot of blue in photos. Like even if we look here, like look at King Charles, I almost called him Prince Charles. King Charles has blue on. There's even blue lights in this photo here. So I end up using blue a lot, but then I'm like, but I don't want to use blue. I don't want to use red because there's a little bit of red there. So I'm always like, well, what do I do? And then I just use blue. So we'll just use blue. We won't overcomplicate things here. I'll work on, how about this? I'll work on some more ideas for us. Maybe we'll use this one. What if we use broken china? It's still blue. It still kind of works. It just kind of switched things up a little bit, right? Mermaid. Ooh, how about mermaid lagoon? Let's use mermaid lagoon. I'll work on some ways to kind of incorporate different colors. Because I usually don't use any embellishments when I'm doing and in the news. Usually I'm just using the stamps. When I say embellishments, like die cuts and things. All right, we need to do our little testing here. So we've got January loaded up. Let's move this out of the way. Hi, Valerie. How was your trip? Are you still coming to see Michelle? Depending on when, if it's today, I put it on the front porch. And then tomorrow we are leaving town. So just let me know. Oh yeah, I think that'll be nice. That'll be a nice change from like a navy blue. Still blue, but. All right, ink this guy up. And we want it to be, I'm gonna pull this a little bit closer towards me so I can see. Right there we go. January. That's a little bit of a nicer blue. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really like a navy blue, but it just feels like that's all I ever do on this list. All right, yes, at 5. Okay, so we will not be here. We're leaving about 10 minutes to 5 to go to another neighbor's house. So just on the front porch. Okay, it's ready for you. All right. I'm just doing my little outlining over here. I'm not going to do pattern paper on this. Sometimes on this side I'll do pattern paper just to bring in a little bit more something, but we're not going to do it this time. All right, so let me look at my little sketcheroo to see what I was thinking. Oh, well, there we go. In the news, and I was going to put something a little bit. Okay, if I think I was going to do, put the lid on it. This little guy, news, one stamp. And then I was going to do maybe a little typewriter. Let's do the typewriter above it, I'm thinking. So like this, there, and then there. And then I was thinking maybe that I would use this little guy. Here's the story. Here's the story. Right like that. 1, 2, 3. A stack. A news stack. So, yeah, let's do it. All right, so I have a stamping block large enough that I can put all of those stamps on one block if I can find it. I had it. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Well, it can probably go on that. It can certainly go on that. Let's see. I think it will work on this. So let's just load this little guy up here. Try to keep those glary things out of the frame, but sometimes it's hard to do. Whoopsie, wrong side. I think it will work. So it's much easier that way. Let's put this guy on this way. It's much easier to load all of your stamps on one block if you can do that, and then just stamp once as opposed to all 3 individually. But if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, right? You use what you have. If you only have one stamping block, then you stamp 3 times. All right, we got to get this nice and inked up. Okay. Let's test and see what we get. Oh, yes. Okay. What's going on with my H? Oh, I just didn't. It's a little crooked here, but that's all right because we'll fix it. It'll fix when I stamp it for real because that's just a test, right? All right. So, oh yes. I do not need to use a pencil board here. I mean, I can if I want, but nothing has happened on these pages. So I'm not worried about any lumpies or bumpies or anything like that. Okay. I was just checking the time. I think about 1:30-ish, maybe a little after 1:30. Well, it's I should tell you, it's 1:17 my time. I'm in the mountain time zone. All right, here we go. I think if we go right about here, this will be good. Nice even pressure, and especially since there's a lot going on here, I want to make sure that in the center, sometimes if you're going to have any area where the ink maybe doesn't deposit all the way, it could be in the center. So let's see how we look here. Woo! Look at how nice that is. Nice and crisp and news. Here's the story for January. All right. So let's get this little guy cleaned off and then we will write our news. Kaya, I just finished watching recently the series The Crown with my mom. We like meeting up to watch while sipping tea. A very British complete experience. What a fun thing for you to do with your mom. I love that. And gosh, poor man, he certainly would not win any popularity contests after people watching the series. Yeah, I didn't watch it. We tried to watch the first few episodes, and I don't know, I couldn't get into it. You know, if he is no longer to continue his reign and has to pass the reins, yes, you know what I mean. Hand down the reins to his son, then it will be a very short-lived term for him, right? All right. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Let me put these little guys back on and then I'll be ready to do my list. while I'm doing that, we haven't talked about giveaways today. Well, we have. Oh, that's not there. That's why. We did some fun live giveaways that you guys, several of you, Terry, Leto, and Lynette Porter, you guys paid forward. Well, you guys, anyhow, you guys both did some very generous giveaways. Terry did a $25 gift card to my website, which was a very lovely. It was like a 2-for-1 because it was something nice for me because she made a purchase on my website, but then intended to then be given away to one of you. So we did that giveaway. And then we also, Lynette Porter also did I don't know how you did that. She did something here on YouTube where she did, was able to like do give me money. I don't know how that works. And so then I took that and said, oh my gosh, that was so nice, but I want to pay that forward. Random act of kindness day. So, and I paid it forward to someone random, and Tracy Corral won that. So those are the giveaways that we did live today, but I also do the after party giveaways too. I'm still working. After party giveaways. So after party giveaways happen after the live, and they happen in the comments on the video, not in the chat, but the comments. And that way anyone can participate, whether they're watching live or not. So with that, you just leave a comment on the video when it's over. And then before we're together again, I draw random lucky winners from the comments on the video, and then those random lucky winners win. So I have 2 giveaways today. Let's talk about those really quick. One is the In the News 2 stamp set, the one I'm using right now. In the News 2 stamp set. The other one, how about this? How about the What a Day stamp set? So there's 2 good ones. What a Day is a 6x8 stamp set, and then the News is the 5x7. So leave a comment on the video when it's over, anytime between now and that first weekend in March when we're together again, and I'll draw 2 random lucky winners before we start to win. Okay, I need to have some kind of bullet stamp, right? Because there are lots of things here on my list. I pulled out. I pulled up bullets and more too again. I know what I'll do. I'm going to use this little tiny TV. This little tiny TV for my bullet stamp. So I'm going to put that on the end of my stamping stylus. Now, there is a direction to this stamp, okay? Here, there really wasn't a direction to the snowflake. It looks the same regardless of how you stamp with it. The TV, that is not the case. And I would always like to stamp this TV the same way. I don't want it to be upside down or sideways. So on your little stamping stylus, there's a little sticker, okay? There's a sticker that has a little squirrel, Scatter the Squirrel. What I do is I'm going to line up the TV so that it is in line with the squirrel, okay? That is my reference point. Every time I am stamping the TV, I want to make sure the squirrel's always in the same spot. Because if the squirrel's in the same spot, then the TV's in the same spot, and the TV will always-ish look like it's the right orientation. All right, so I'm going to test this little guy. I can always see the little squirrel there. No, I may not have him on there straight. Oh no, that was just me. There we go. That's how I get the TV to be the same orientation every time. I pay attention to where the squirrel is. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Whoops, let me close this behind me.
Time to let him up.
You need a new stick, dear. Nick every Saturday walks in. Let them go. They've had enough already. Is it time to let them up? Whatever. He's joking. All right, there we go. There's my first little TV. Carol, the king has cancer, but not prostate cancer. He does. I thought that he had. Well, the news in January said he had prostate cancer. So no prostate cancer. Okay. Here we go. Mickey Mouse. And it's the Steamboat Willie version. Entered the public domain, which means anyone can use that version. Also, there is a version of Winnie the Pooh that entered the public domain. And someone has already made a horror movie with Winnie the Pooh. All right. There was a 7.4 earthquake in Japan. Earthquake in Japan. So now I'm just working on my run-on list of the things that happened in the news in the month of January. Let's see. Israel, Hamas war hit 100 days. Chris Christie and Ron DeSantis dropped out of the presidential race. It's weird for me not to have any commentary, huh? Because then it's just like blank while I write. Chris Christie and Ron DeSantis dropped out of. Well, dropped out of the Republican primaries, or I don't know, whatever it is. But it's just easier to say it, dropped out of the presidential race. Okay. 110 million people in the US under winter weather advisory. Cold and snowy. That was January. Well, all of these are January. Let me look. They haven't confirmed what cancer he has, but it was found during his recent procedure. Oh, thinking bladder, kidney, etc. Not good. He had a enlarged prostate, but that was benign. The cancer he had was found while being treated. Okay, got it. How long ago Steamboat Mickey? 1928. The very first version of him. So he looks like Mickey Mouse, but he looks a little different. Like, for example, his nose is a little bit. His nose looks different than the more current versions of Mickey Mouse. All right, let's see. Oh, this is interesting. I could say this is interesting, even though I said no comment. So I won't even do that. Microsoft passes Apple as the world's most valuable public company, valued at this is numbers unfathomable. You can't even whatever. 2.88 trillion with a T. 2.88 trillion. That number, it's so hard to even fathom that number. All right, I think we'll put another little guy over here. Okay, let's see. Trump wins the Iowa caucus. Usually what happens is that my list for in the news tend to be chronological um, because I have logged them in my phone, on my phone as they're happening. Kate Middleton. Hospitalized. For abdominal surgery for 2 weeks. Prince Charles. No, not Prince Charles, excuse me. King Charles, right? Used to Prince Charles. King Charles. I'll say diagnosed with cancer. And then the last one on my list for January is that photo in the upper left-hand corner. That was a door plug. Blew out. Of a Boeing plane. On Alaska Airlines. On an Alaska Airlines flight. All right. Now, I had a few other things on my list that I ran out of room, and I wanted to make sure. Sometimes I'll have photos on my list where I didn't write whatever it was over here, and sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes I have things listed here, which is usually more common. I have things listed here where I don't have photos because there's a lot more things than I have room for photos. But there you go. That is in the news for the month of January. All right, friends, I am going to turn off the overhead lights. Maybe not. No, overhead light is off. I will just slightly angle those lights. I'm going to unplug and I am going to rotate the little camera now, so hang tight. Wee! Wee! Okay, there we go. All right, friends, that was fun. That was fun. I sure enjoyed our conversation, me talking at you. But I enjoyed all of the input and chit chat that you guys gave during that first list, the Random Acts of Kindness, National Random Acts of Kindness Day. If you take anything from today's session, I hope it's that. I hope it is that today you find one little thing. Smile at someone, give them a compliment, say please, say thank you and mean it. Do something nice for someone. If you'll do that today, that'd be awesome. Now, it doesn't have to go just to today, right? One of the things that we talked about, one of the quotes was be the change that you want to see, right? So if we want the world to be a better place, and we can do that by saying something kind to someone or reciprocating something, if we can do that, it's something that we can try to incorporate not just on one day a year, but we do every day. I think that is, it's a pretty simple, doesn't take a lot. It takes some thought, right? It takes some intention, but it's something that we can do to try to make the world a better place, right? That's something that we have control over. We can do that. So I hope, at least today, but then take it beyond that, if you will. That's something that I am going to really try. I know they say do or do not, don't try. I'm really going to make an effort to be better at doing that, because I'll go in, spurts where sometimes I'm really good at that and sometimes I completely forget. So if you take nothing else out of today, I hope you take that. Let me take a quick look at the chat. Creative Cindy said, have a great weekend. Mostly Mandy, thank you so much, Layle. Enjoy your vacay. Yes, thanks so much. Karen said, it's always sad when the day comes to an end. It's always so much fun. I'm glad that you enjoy it. I really am, because I enjoy it so much. I often say this is the only time that I give myself permission to play. And that's why maybe sometimes some lists take a lot longer, like our first one today, because I'm just playing. I'm playing for the sake of playing and having fun. When being creative is kind of your livelihood and it's your career, um, your job, your business, and it used to be your hobby, sometimes you miss the hobby part of it. So today for me is all about the hobby. It's all about just having fun and playing. So I always thank you for giving me space to do that. Because if you guys weren't here, I would not be giving myself the permission to play. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It will be let's see. I saw something, but now it went. Yes, it'll be 2 weeks before we're together again. So it'll be the beginning of March. So join me here on Saturday, the beginning of March. Save the date, the fourth weekend in March, which is like the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. That is the 4-year anniversary, believe it or not. That's the 4-year anniversary of the listing sessions that we've been doing on YouTube. So lots of fun celebrations planned for that weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday we'll be doing an all-day listing, and then that Friday morning you'll see lots of new products, Layle by Mail products hit the website. So add a little save the date to your planner, calendar, whatever you do there. Giveaways, don't forget the 2 giveaways. Leave a comment on the video when it's over. The What a Day stamp set and in the News 2 stamp set. I hope you guys have a wonderful next 2 weeks, and I will see you here, back here on Saturday. I need to have 2 calendars. I need to have February and March. But whatever that first weekend is in March, I hope to see you guys here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for joining me today. Bye. That's weird. It's on the other side. Don't mind me. Don't mind me where I normally exit, where it's not. Anyhow, bye.